Locked and loaded, plotting motion through the wasteland. Know that we ain't playing, we just sticking to the game plan. You can call it hunger every morning, gotta break fast. Even those opposing know I'm focused, so the pace lands. They call me a legend in the making, but I don't need the praises. I know life is what you make it. Mine ain't made for conversation, I'm a legend in the making. But I don't need the title, stay ahead of all my rivals. I'm just learning from my idols. They say life is what you make it, so get just what I'm playing for. Better keep your guard around the crown, I came to take it home. Yeah, I gotta stick to the plan. You can leave and keep the praise. Mexico to Japan. No, I'm leaving them amazed. And I'm moving out the brake pads. Ain't no switching up the pace. I keep it triple digits when in my pad, so don't get up in the way. Locked and loaded, plotting motion through the wasteland. Know that we ain't playing, we just sticking to the game plan. They call me a legend in the making, but I don't need the praises. I know life is what you make it. Mine ain't made for conversation, I'm a legend in the making. But I don't need the title, stay ahead of all my rivals. I'm just learning from my idols. They say life is what you make it, so get just what I'm playing for. Better keep your guard around the crown, I came to take it home. Challenges, won't waste the breath if you ask who winning, you know the decision unanimous. I might cold black with passion, blow past them, no chances, panic or challenge, back to back baddest, old habits, cause casket for your whole clan, no capping, no co-captain here, but they watching me top of the tiers, I'm just watching them dropping the tears, they pay homage, not as a peers, we were coming from the mud, huh, now they looking up to us, huh, now they trying to get some love, right, cause we double up the dubs, huh, yeah, I was born humble and cold, now I'ma come for the throat, never let me on my soul. Locked and loaded, plotting motion through the wasteland. Know that we ain't playing, we just sticking to the game plan. They call me a legend in the making. I don't need the praises, I know life is what you make it. Mine ain't made for conversation, and if life is what you make it, then guess just what I'm playing for. Better keep your guard around the crown, I came to take it home. Born into this world as a lost soul. Now I want it all, and it's gonna close. Hey, yeah, are you ready? Not at all. Giving pressure, watching fall. Always keep my heart on call, cause I know I want it. Are you ready? Not at all. Giving pressure, watching fall. Always keep my heart on call, cause I know I want it. Are you ready? Not at all. Giving pressure, watching fall. Always keep my heart on call, cause I know I want it all.
Bob, the lives.
Yeah, but First blood. New kill leader.
One player, losing two players, and they are left with... Oh, and Roro gets taken down as well. It seems like Roro lost his 1v1 over there. Unix taken down as well. Union X left with two, and the first team to be eliminated is Alpha Wolves. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that fight. The Alpha Wolves are the first team to be eliminated. Obi now hopefully can make the escape. Not sure, but he does seem to be a bit low on HP. And he does, or at least I hope he does with that launch pad. ATHLEGAME, luckily for them, do manage to win that round up against Union X, but unfortunately, Alpha Wolves are the first team to be taken out for today. Roro getting revived by his teammates, and they are back. We can as well see that in Bullseye, we have Clowns Esports. I'm not sure who they're up against, but they do seem to be in a bit of an engagement right there. Jazz taken down, Assis that they're up against Disney. And you know, Disney are really good in those 4v4 fights, so I do trust that they will win this fight, or at least it should be. But we see that they are taken down and they're left with only one player, LZ. Can LZ escape? Seems not, but he does seem to have gotten the knock, so Disney are back to their full team. Seems that Clowns lost their hot drop. Well, not their hot drop, their first 4v4. We do see that Midnight gets the revive and level up, so that's good, that's good. We see that Clowns Esports are back in it, you know. NJ are the current kill leaders with 5 eliminations on the board. 5 eliminations early on goes a long way, you know. I do believe that if they continue with this aggression, they should have a high kill game. And NJ are a really good team, so shout out to NJ. We see that Jistra as well as ATHLEGAME and Disney seem to be second on board with the kills, followed by MAGADAN third. We see a fight between COSA and NOSTRA as well as 3 Crown Esports. Let's see how this fight transpires. We see Gon taking a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure his vest is almost gone. Yes, it's a bit unfortunate for Gon right now, but they do seem to be in a pretty good position. So I doubt that they should engage too much, you know. Hopefully this fight works in their favor, you know. We see Pinky as well as Smith returning back into more solid cover, being backed up by their teammates. Gon almost getting knocked, and that missed Skylar from Sleazy. It's a bit unfortunate for them. But you can see that 3 Crowns are repositioning, choosing not to engage up against COSA Nostra as they deem this fight not worth it, you know. We do see that COSA Nostra don't seem to be pushing this fight either, so I do think that these two teams will now split apart and they won't continue their engagement. And that is correct, yes. We see COSA Nostra as well as 3 Crowns repositioning themselves. And you know, COSA Nostra, pretty solid team. They may have an early quiet game, but I can assure you that at the end of this game, they will have a ton of kills. So shout out to COSA NOSTRA. We can see that 3 crowns are up in a fight up against Clown Esports, and Clown Esports just recovered, but they do seem to have taken down Macian. Let's see what 3 crowns Esports can do in this situation. We see 3 crowns Esports left with 1 player, Midnight gets taken down. Jazz doing a ton of damage with that knee gun. Can Smith get the revive? Unfortunately not. Midnight gets taken out as well. Let's see what they can do here. I think it's a 3v3, especially considering that Midnight is down. Smith and Pinky are the last 2 players left alive. No, Crack is up on the hill. And Level Up gets taken down, and Clown Esports are eliminated by 3 crowns. Smith getting 3 kills in that fight. Absolutely amazing from Smith. See that 3 crowns take out Clown Esports. And it was such a fair fight, you know, but it seems that 3 crowns got the better of Clown Esports. So that's a bit unfortunate for them, as they are the 3rd team to be eliminated this time around. We see the 3 crowns managing to get their 1 player back. It was Macian who got took out pretty much early, but 3 crowns did manage to get the recovery and win that fight pretty well. Surviving with 3 players in a fight is actually pretty good. We do see that Union X are taken out as well. I do think that they were taken out much earlier. Not sure by who, but they were taken out. We see MEDELLIN, who were just now in Mull. They do seem to be inside Cape Town now, or close to Cape Town, which is a bit strange. I don't see how they could have repositioned that quickly. But we see that MAGADAN actually getting the 3rd party on MEDELLIN, and MEDELLIN are in the center of 2 teams. 2 teams that can really punish them if they are caught off guard, you know. You can see AMIGOES approaching behind MAGADAN, and this is a huge fight, if I do say so myself. I'm not sure how MEDELLIN intend to get out of this positioning right now, but they are in a bit of a pinch. We see that Ligero taken down by BMX. And they get the revive on him, or ATHLEGAME push him, and Ligero gets revived. But I hate you going down as well. I don't think that they can survive this, and they are taken out by AMIGOES out of all teams. So it does seem that AMIGOES actually managed to get most of the eliminations from that fight, you know, and they were the last team to show up from here, which is a bit strange. But they are pretty much good predators, you know. So shout out to AMIGOES, and we see that JOGOU are still the current kill leaders and still the current point leaders. So I'm not sure how this will transpire, but we do see that MAGADAN are actually moving away from this fight. They do seem to be repositioning, prioritizing zone right now as well. So the current 4 teams to be taken out are Clown Esports, MEDELLIN, Union X, as well as Alpha Wolves. I do hope that they can do better the next coming games, you know, as it will be a bit of a shame to see them not perform well, you know. But we do see that in Pochinok it actually seems to be loaded. We see that there's COSA NOSTRA, as well as JOGOU, as well as Just Try, 3 massive teams inside Pochinok. And I wonder how this fight will transpire. We see that Just Try doing some serious damage onto NJ, Wellcott being taken down by Gon's grenade, and COSA NOSTRA seem to be pushing in. Tenric taking the charge. Gon with that M79 taking 2 down. Let's see if NJ can survive this, and unfortunately not. And JOGOU are unfortunately eliminated by COSA NOSTRA. And those grenades from Gon in particular really helped with that fight, you know, because Tenric didn't really have to do much, especially considering that they were already down from Gon. And Sleazy seems to have taken down Dante with this fight. COSA NOSTRA, who just finished the fight, are back in action again. Let's see if they can survive up against Just Try. They don't seem to be pushing each other, so I do think that if one player gets knocked, the pickups will be pretty much easy, you know. We see that there is a team pretty close to where Just Try are, and I think it's MAGADAN who will reposition himself after running away from AMIGOES. Not sure if they will get into a bout, but we see that MAGADAN also shooting onto ATHLEGAME. Dante taking down JB out of all people. I'm not too sure how JB got spotted there, but he is taken down. And they do manage to get the pickup on him. We see AMIGOES in a fight up against, I'm not too sure. MTK seems to be repositioning himself. Yes, it's Disney. Disney will have the uphill at this point. I'm not too sure how they intend to go downhill, especially considering they Just Try are in the house overlooking that hill. So it's a bit unfortunate for them. But I do think that they'll be able to reposition themselves. AMIGOES also don't seem to be engaging up against Disney. So for now, it's a pretty quiet battlefield, you know. Nothing really going on. You see 3 Crowns making their way towards that arsenal for cover. You see Disney repositioning themselves. They do seem to be in a bit of open land, but I do think that they can get towards that greenhouse if not, but they do get shot. We see Posian, we see the whole team using the launch pad, and they do seem to have launched into Kochino. Yes, and it's a pretty safe launch. None of them got knocked, so that's pretty good. Just try still chilling inside that house. 3 Crowns near the arsenal. I think 3 Crowns are closest towards their arsenal. So unfortunately, since NJ got taken out pretty early, they will not be the point leaders after map 1. So I've seen that a lot of the teams have 4 kills on the board, you know, which is pretty good. It shows off, speaks of a pretty balanced game, you know, which is pretty good to see, as I say. Yeah, we see Sneaky taking some serious damage, and I'm not too sure where he's taking damage from because he himself is not placing any blue walls or anything. You see Macy with those grenades. I'm not too sure who he took out now, but oh, it's ATHLEGAME. Wow. Macy have taken out pretty much the whole of ATHLEGAME with that grenade, and ATHLEGAME are unfortunately eliminated in 7th position. But we do see that COSA NOSTRA seem to want to capitalize on that fight, but 3C are pretty much resisting pretty well, especially because they have solid cover, and COSA NOSTRA can't really do much. And if they do want to push down, they will get injured, especially because it's a downhill fight, you know. The 3 Crowns, 8 eliminations on the board. I think that they might be the current kill leaders. 8 eliminations on the board, but unfortunately left with 3 players. But I do think that they can survive this. But COSA NOSTRA in particular don't seem to be letting them go, you know. And it seems that Smith wants to reposition, but he does get shot, and he launches right into Magadan. I'm not sure if he'll be able to survive that. It's a bit unfortunate for him. You see them getting shot from outside. I'm not too sure if they know that Magadan is inside this house. You see the grenade coming in. Smith getting taken down, Pink is taken down as well. Macy and the last player left alive, and he's taken out by that grenade. And it seems that 3 Crowns Esports are the 6th team to be eliminated for today. So, we see that Disney are left alive. Not too sure if they have a full team back. Just tried to put some serious damage when the players down. Is seem to be Disney. Magadan haven't really left that position, and it's pretty good from him. Not repositioning too much. Tips for life for longer. See Sneaky taking down LZ. But will they be able to get the revive? Seems that they might be able to, yes. Just chilling on top of the building. And we do seem to be upstairs. Ledex, hopefully can get a shot. And we see Dante looking at Magadan. Not too sure if he can get a shot away. Disney's still downstairs. Seems to be a pretty, I don't know, stalemate from them too. Especially considering that they were just now in a fight. But they do seem to have their full teams alive and just waiting it out. You know, we see COSA NOSTRA repositioning. They seem to be taking or doing some serious damage towards Amigos. Amigos knocking down one from Magadan, and Storm's being taken out from Amigos. We see Slifer taken down as well. And Mota gets taken down as well. The Amigos left with 2 players, unfortunately. 3, managing to get it picked up right now. Will COSA NOSTRA actually capitalize on this because a big fight just transferred right here. We see Tenric actually cooking a grenade there. Will that grenade actually take them out? Seems not. Senzo taking down Polzin with that M79. Yes, and Pogazin is taken out from Disney. Dante taking out Luxin. And we see LZ, it's a bit of a strange repositioning, especially because the zone is doing a ton of damage, but he is taken out by Ledex. So just try, seem to be in a pretty prime position. We see Flazy, last player left alive for Magadan. Will he survive this with Bill? Seems like Gone doing some serious damage with that M79. Will he be able to take out the players from Amigos? Not too sure. Flazy being a thorn in the side for Amigos. We see just try fighting against CM. And 2 taken down from CM. Just try actually capitalizing on that third part, you know, and they're doing pretty well. CM only left with 2 players, and they are picking up a ton of eliminations right now. We see Amigos doing a ton of damage and taking out the last player from Magadan. And Gone is taken out as well. So we are left with a 4v3 Amigos versus Just Try. Will Amigos be able to survive this ordeal? Only one way to find out. We see Sneaky trying to reposition and get a better angle. Dante actually pushing in a bit. Oh, and that flash freeze actually doing a bit of damage. Oh, it's called a dragon grenade, my mistake. You see Chistra actually pushing in, Ledix trying to get an angle on them. Senzo cooking those grenades. Will he be able to get it down? Unfortunately not. You see Ledix trying to snipe them out. Senzo, Sneaky, Dante pushing in. You see Dante actually taking a different angle towards or compared to where his teammates are. And Amigos needs one player. Sneaky taken down, and unfortunately for Amigos, they are taken out. So we see Just Try with the first booyah of the finals with 17 eliminations on the board, with Dante being the MVP for game 1. Shout out to Just Try, that's a massive game for them. And they are the current point leaders. So we see Just Try taking first place with 29 points. Second place we have Amigos, 16 points and 7 eliminations. And in third place we have COSA Nostra with 13 points and 5 eliminations. So Just Try actually having a massive game there. Large gap between them and the rest of the teams participating today. Hopefully that can change in the next coming maps, just to keep the game balanced. But first booyah of the finals today goes to Just Try. Okay, so after map 1, we have Just Try coming in 29 points and first place. And those 29 points in an 80-point threshold is actually a huge map for them. Second place, we have Friends. If I'm not mistaken, this should be Amigos. It's actually a direct translation, but yes, it's Amigos. In second place with 16 points on the board for them. And in third place, we have 3 Crowns Esports tied with Cosa Nostra with 13 points. And in fifth place, we have Magadan. Unfortunately for Alpha Wolves, they do seem to have not gotten any points from that map, but I do hope that they can get the recovery. So you guys have to remember that today we have the Champions Rush. The minimum point threshold is actually 80 points. So we hope to see which team will actually grab those 80 points first, Okay, so there's actually a lot going on. There are so many hard drops. We see Amigos having a hard drop back against Clown Esports. We see COSA Nostra having a hard drop back against 3 Crowns. And it seems that 3 Crowns actually seem to be losing this fight. I do believe that Crack might be the last player left alive for his team. Can he get the revive? I'm not too sure. And yes, he does. Macian actually manages to get revived. We see as well in Rastown, we see NJ as well as Clown Esports. I'm pretty sure Clown Esports actually repositioned himself. We see Crack actually trying to take out the rest of Costa Nostra. But I'm not too sure if he can win this bout, you know? Especially considering that they're pushing him from multiple angles. One gets taken down, and Crack survives this. And he does manage to actually get the elimination on him. So 2 points on the board for his team. But we do see that Costa Nostra have 4 points pretty early on in the game. So shout out to Costa Nostra. We see ATHLEGAME having a hard drop up against Union X. But it does seem that MEDELLIN actually coming into that area, if I'm not mistaken. Or Ligero actually seems to be repositioning himself, so he is not there. You see, Just Try. I'm not too sure if they usually land there, but they did land in Twin Bridge, which is a bit strange. But we see Just Try inside Twin Bridge, Disney, who are inside Intellect Center, and ATHLEGAME inside Rev Labs, which is a bit strange, because I'm pretty sure that ATHLEGAME actually land in Intellect Center most of the time, but it seems that teams employ different tactics with them. So we could see Costa Nostra, the current kill leaders for map 2, with 3 eliminations on the board. Magadan actually getting 3 eliminations on the board, as well as ATHLEGAME, followed by Amigos and 3 Crowns tied on 2 eliminations. I would say it's a pretty quiet start, considering that most of the teams, in fact all of the teams are still alive, and they do seem to be managing to get the revive, so shout out to all the teams for making this a pretty balanced fight, you know. You see Amigos with 2 eliminations on the board. Not sure if they're close to anybody. Yeah, I think they're just looting up right now. See 3 Crowns. That guy is just driving around with his car. Named JOGOU inside Zipway. And we see 3 Crowns who seem to be pretty split, especially considering that they just got revived. So I'm assuming that, you know, surviving the distance. And we see Steve taking down one from Disney with a massive headshot there. We see Senzo trying to push in a squad alone. I'm not too sure if he'll be able to survive that. But all the best for him, and he tries to throw a clever grenade. See if that grenade will be able to take down anybody, unfortunately, but as Senzo repositioning himself, hoping to survive for longer for his team. Seems that he does seem to be taking a lot of damage, and I'm not too sure what Sneaky and Dante are doing, especially considering that these players are just outright chasing Senzo, you know. And Senzo gets taken down, unfortunately, by Luxin. Well, Just Try to be able to get the revive, and yes, they do. That was a pretty fast revive, if I do say so myself. Welka taking down Smith from 3 Crown. And it does seem that 3 Crowns have a pretty bad start to this game, you know. We see Senzo repositioning himself, landing in Xenia from Topias. Union X are pretty close by as well as Ninja, so will you be able to survive that? Some early engagement of ATHLEGAME and upper turns. MEDELLIN, if I'm not mistaken. Adam taken down, but MEDELLIN are the first team to be taken out for map 2. Shout out to ATHLEGAME, you know, they always win their hard drops. Every single time ATHLEGAME are in a hard drop, they win it most of the time. So, I like ATHLEGAME's strategy in the game, you know. Total taking down one from Magadan 6, and Slifer is the one taken down. But they do manage to get the pickup on him. We see ATHLEGAME having a massive early start to this game. See the eliminations in the board, the current point leaders. And we can see that too many teams are too close to each other. The only current teams that are in an engagement are ATHLEGAME as well as Magadan, but I don't think that this fight is too fruitful, you know. Especially considering the distance between them. If you manage to get one down, they will just get a perfect pickup. And JB, risky behavior, is taken down. And he's punished for, I don't know, trying to keep him. But they do manage to get the pickup on him. And he doesn't seem to have lost any armor durability, which is strange, but he seems to have gotten the long end of the stick there. LZ taking down Jazz from Clown Esports. Clown Esports are having a terrible early game, you know. They had tons of fights early on, man. Not too sure if they were able to get the recovery, but they should be able to. We see Midnight reviving Jazz from Clown Esports. Magadan actually managing to take one down from ATHLEGAME. I'm not too sure what ATHLEGAME have in mind. I don't see why they should have pushed this team, but Roro does seem to have gotten eliminated, unfortunately. But they should be able to get the revive. We see Magadan actually pushing in. They don't seem to be very forgiving. We see ATHLEGAME repositioning, but BMX is taken down. Adam actually manages to survive that flight path, and Zeus as well does seem to be still alive. So it seems that Magadan actually got the better of ATHLEGAME that time around. And it is strange because Roro actually managed to knock one down early, so I don't see why they lost that fight. But Magadan is just that good, So shout out to Magadan. We see Zeus trying to do some damage onto some players there from Magadan. LZ actually getting back his whole team. I'm not too sure when exactly they died. They do seem to have died. You see Roro actually landing back in his loot and actually taking down so many players from Magadan. I see that they lost one player. Will they be able to get the revive? Not too sure. But it does seem that Union X are actually taken out in 10th place, so it's a bit unfortunate for them. We see Roro taken down once again by Slifer. Amigos, I think that they are pretty close to where Just Try, but I don't think they spotted him per se. We see 3 Crowns actually up in another fight up against COSA and NOSTRA. These teams just love each other. Smith taken down, Pinky taken down. He's actually doing a ton of damage with that sniper, but Laken is taken down as well. Can Mason get the revive? Yes, he does. He managed to get the revive with Smith. So it seems that 3 Crowns is having a bad day today up against COSA and NOSTRA, COSA and NOSTRA seems to be their kryptonite, and Crack taken down as well. COSA and NOSTRA putting tons of kills in map 10. Most of those kills, in fact, all of those kills actually came from 3 Crowns. So it seems that 3 Crowns actually donating kills to COSA and NOSTRA, which is a bit strange from them. But I do wish that they can survive for longer, Does seem as though there aren't many engagements. Teams seem to be a bit split. We see this guy from Amigos actually taking damage from Just Try, if I'm not mistaken, and they do not see that Dante is actually pretty close to where they are. 2 of their players actually close to where they are, and it seems to be a bit of a pincer attack. MTK taken down. Just Try pushing in. See Dante pushing in. And Dante get a knock on one. Unfortunately, none are not, and Sneaky as well as Dante are taken down by Amigos. It was a bit of a reckless play from them, or maybe it would have worked out, it would have been considered a smart play, but since they died, it was a bit reckless from them. And Amigos do manage to put 2 eliminations on the board coming from Just Try. This try will seem to also be close towards Clown Esports. I'm not too sure how they intend to survive this. We can see Magadan as well as ATHLEGAME are still in a fight. Not too sure when this fight will end, but these 2 teams just seem to love each other, Slifer taken down by Alpha Wolves. Not too sure where Slifer was, but he does seem to be taken down. We see Pinky as well inside. Brad Labs. Not too sure if he can manage to get the revive in his team, especially considering that ATHLEGAME are inside and Freeze is lurking from outside. So I'm not too sure how he intends to survive this withdrawal, but he does seem to reposition himself. We see Slife actually landing close by. It seems to be coming from the sky, and Adam getting the revive on the road. Hopefully Slife can get some loot back for himself. And he does seem to have gotten a sniper. So I'm not too sure what Adam has in mind, especially considering that he's not really moving away from here. We see that the Roro is actually pretty close to JB. I think JB has actually spotted him. I'm not too sure. We see Sneaky pushing close towards where COSA and NOSTRA is, and I don't think he will survive this, And those mechanics from Sneaky are pretty good. Seems to have survived for longer than I expected, Dante seems to be backing him up. Not too sure what Sneaky has in mind right now, but they are getting pushed by COSA and NOSTRA. And one doing some serious damage onto Dante. Sneaky getting taken down, and unfortunately for 3 Crowns, they are eliminated in 10th place. So it's a bit unfortunate for them. We see Amigos actually pretty close towards where COSA and NOSTRA are, and they do seem to be doing some damage on COSA and NOSTRA. Clown Esports inside the zone. Not too sure if they'll be able to make the recovery. Jazz might get taken down by the zone, and yes, he is. He is taken down by the play zone. Not too sure what Clown Esports game plan is right here, but unfortunate for them. Hopefully they do not get eliminated by the zone, as that will be a bit embarrassing for them, We see COSA and NOSTRA repositioning and choosing not to engage in that fight up against Amigos. It's pretty clever play. We see Level Up going under serious fire up against COSA Nostra. And Level Up is taken down by Tenerife. Pretty clever play with that FGL, you know. See Disney actually doing some serious damage to Jazz as well. Seems that there are a ton of teams here, 4 teams to be precise, beside this group of houses, you know. We see LZ taken down by 1 from Amigos. Will be able to get the revive on him. And yes, they do manage to, but that zone is doing a ton of damage. Clown Esports, bad loot, and just bad positioning for me, you know. Not too sure how they intend to get out of this situation alive, but if they do, that would be amazing from them, you know. It'd be good to see a pretty clever play. We see Disney actually pushing in onto Amigos. Not sure who will be the win in that fight, but that is a big fight not to miss, you know. We see Mota taken down by Popizon. Not sure if they will get the revive, and nope, they do not. So Amigos left with 3 players. 3 players at this time of the game is a bit unfortunate, you know. And that landmine does explode. Checking for landmines is pretty smart, you know. Oh, and that grenade doing a ton of damage. You see Neutral actually pushing in, and Neutral does manage to take 1 down, and Amigos take counter, and they are eliminated. That was a pretty quick fight, you know. Disney seemed to not be wasting any time today. So shout out to Disney, man. That fight was lasted a couple of seconds, you know. Clown Esports don't seem to have been able to capitalize on that fight despite that being a big fight. But they do seem to have survived for longer. So that's good for them. Laken actually taken down by Jazz. And COSA Nostra left with 3 players. It's unfortunate for them. Clown Esports putting 2 eliminations on the board. Hopefully they can do very nice, especially considering that they had a bad first game, you know. So this should be a big game for them just to recover points, you know. We see Alpha Wolves actually doing way better than they did the first game. The first game they actually died first, so them surviving for this long, pretty good, you know. Hopefully they can get recovery points this game. Yeah. Seems that Neutral actually taken down 1 from NJ. Seems that Disney are up in a heated fight up against NJ. Just left with 2 players, and they are sort of playing positioning for placement right now, you know. And named JOGOU actually taken out. Seems to have been teamwork between MAGADAN as well as Disney. I hope they're not talking together behind the screen, you know. Disney actually repositioning. Disney having a brilliant game this time around. 8 eliminations on the board, you know. 8 eliminations go a long way, and to manage to get 10. That Clown's got the short end of the stick, especially trying to rotate into zone. You see Roro taking down 1 from COSA Nostra. Seems that it's a fight between ATHLEGAME as well as COSA Nostra, but Disney seem to be capitalizing on this fight, you know. COSA Nostra left with 3 players, and ATHLEGAME left with 2 players. Clown Esports, Midnight is chilling here. He's the last player. I'm not too sure if he can get any third-party kills, and unfortunately for ATHLEGAME, they are taken out. Disney seem to want to capitalize on this, and Midnight will be taken out by Disney as well. Clown Esports are taken out. We see COSA Nostra up against Disney. It does seem that they are trying to reposition Disney as well as COSA Nostra, but COSA Nostra seem to be a bit more aggressive as they're just waiting it out, you know. We see Magadan inside that compound. Not sure if they have a full team, but Sneaky takes down Slifer, getting another elimination on the board for him. Senzo on the rooftop. Not too sure how he intends to get down, as well as Ledex. But hopefully they can survive this. We see Magadan trying to take down 1 player from Just Try. Sneaky, if I'm not mistaken. Sneaky seems to have survived for long. Alpha Wolves, one of the only teams left with a full team, but Sleazy does manage to take down Kelder, but they do manage to get the pickup. Not too sure how those 2 players from Just Try intend to get off the roof, but it's a bit unfortunate for them. Ledex taken down by Luxin. Magadan taking
Killing spree.
any repositioning from them may be fatal, you know. But I do think that the zone actually favors them. No, it does not. It actually favors Disney. Yes, it actually favors Disney. Alpha Wolves going under serious fire up against COSA Nostra and Just Try eliminated in 5th place. See Magadan actually leaving their compound right now, but that zone is doing a ton of damage. And they do seem to be taken out. No, they do seem to be alive, and unfortunately for not, they are taken out. Alpha Wolves, that grenade from Kelder was astounding, you know. Alpha Wolves left with 3 players. COSA Nostra as well left with 3 players, and that
Killing
M79 from
spree.
Caldi doing tons of damage. Gon seems to be the last player left alive for his team, and Gon also
Killing
doing some
spree.
M79 damage. Pretty crazy things to see, you know. You see that Disney are the only team left with 4 players, and I do think that he'll get that player. And nice taking down LZ with the headshot and getting another point on the board for his team, but he will unfortunately be taken out by the hits from Disney. So Disney grabbing the second booyah after that. Booyah in next Terra with a ton of eliminations. LZ being the MVP with 4 eliminations on the board. So that's a good booyah for LZ. I think they got 16 or 17 eliminations. Um, Pretty much on par with what Chistra did in the first game. Yes, they did manage to get 17 eliminations, 29 points as well for them. See, in second place, we have Alpha Wolves with 19 points and Cosa Nostra in third place with 24 points. But Cosa Nostra should place higher than Alpha Wolves this map because they did manage to get more eliminations than Alpha Wolves, thus giving them a total score of 24 compared to Alpha Wolves' 19 points. But that was a brilliant game from the top 3, you know, managing to get a lot of eliminations on the board for their team. So shout out to them. On to map 3 we go. Okay, so we do see the scoreboard of the map to just try actually maintaining that first place, but they do seem to not be far from Disney, who are only 3 points away as well as Cosa Nostra. So that top 3 are in a pretty heated bout, you know. Fourth place, we have Magadan with 28 points on the board, and MEDELLIN only managing to snack up 2 points from the first 2 games, which is a bit unfortunate for them. I do hope to see improvement from them, but this is the kind of leaderboard of the map too. Hopefully it can change drastically after map 3, you know. As we would love to see new winners this time around. So welcome back to map 3, Alpine it seems. We have a massive fight going on inside Railroad and Sleazy managing to be taken down by Alpha Wolves. And easy elimination, and that was a pretty quick elimination. Then Reek also taken down as well. Can Laken escape? As Cosa Nostra actually left with 2 players. Amigos also seem to be around the vicinity, you know, but Alpha Wolves are actually on the roof, so I do think that they have better positioning, being able to see most of the teams. It does seem as though the last 2 players from Cosa Nostra will be able to manage to escape from this compound, you know. We see Union X going up against Clown Esports. Crusher taken down, unfortunately. Can Jazz get the knock? And unfortunately, he does not. Obina managing to actually survive that fight. Yes, Obina actually managing to survive that fight. Managed to take down one as well, you know. We see Amigo still in a heated bout up against Alpha Wolves. Not too sure if they are actually close to each other. They are in the same compound, or at least they should be. Yes, and MTK taken down by one from Alpha Wolves. So Amigos actually seem to be left with one player, but he does manage to get the revive on two of his members. So Amigos actually going strong right now. But Alpha Wolves seem to have dominated this compound, chasing out both COSA Nostra as well as Amigos. So shout out to Alpha Wolves. And they have 5 eliminations on the board, 5 early on. It's a pretty strong start from them, you know. It does seem that R7BB seems to be repositioning, not wanting the smoke, as they say. Not too sure if Alpha Wolves will be able to spot him out. I hope not, at least. Yes, and we do not. We still see that Union X are up in a heated bout up against Clowns. Clown Esports losing one of their players, and Clown Esports having another bad start to the game. I'm not too sure what their game plan is right now, but it doesn't seem to be working out for them, you know. They are left with only 2 players, and Union X putting 3 eliminations and 2 points on the board, you know. We do see that Amigos or Mota seems to be getting close towards where ATHLEGAME is. Alpha Wolf still in a heated bout up against Amigos, and that guy actually managed to take down one. We see MTK actually doing some serious damage onto Nice, and Nice almost being taken down. Alpha Wolves left with 2 players, despite them dominating this compound. They seem to have fallen down pretty quickly. Obviously, he is getting pushed, but he does manage to get the knock on R70. Can he manage to get the other knock? Not too sure. MTK actually repositioning. So Alpha Wolves putting 60 eliminations on the board. We do see that MEDELLIN actually taking down one from COSA Nostra. COSA Nostra having a bad early start, and that just continues, you know. Landing inside this compound and meeting MEDELLIN is not the best of fortunes, you know. We see that Alpha Wolves are still up in a fight up against MTK, and MTK does seem to be the last player left alive for his team. I'm not too sure what he has going on there, but I'm not too sure if he can survive this either. Will he be able to survive this? Will he be able to get the knock on Calder getting some serious damage, and he does manage to get it up. So Amigos putting another point on the board for them. And they do seem to be running away from him. I don't think they seem to be chasing him. Oh, never mind, they do. So MTK going on with serious damage, but he does seem to be able to make the getaway. Will he be able to? Yes, and he finds better positioning behind that rock. But they will be pushing him. Not too sure if he'll be able to survive this. Can MEDELLIN actually see where Alpha Wolves are? Fortunately not. So Amigos left with one player, and that whole team is chasing him. I don't think it's the best of fortunes for him, you know. I don't think he'll be able to survive this. We'll be able to get the down on TJ. It's a bit unfortunate for him this time around. And he is taken out. So Amigos, despite them having 2 good games prior to this, they are the first team to be eliminated for map 3. They did manage to get 3 points on the board for them, but I'm not too sure if those 3 points will be enough for them, you know. Alpha Wolves getting 7 eliminations on the board, handling their early fights pretty well, you know. And they almost lost to Amigos, but it's unfortunate. So we see that JOGOU are up in a heated battle up against ATHLEGAME, and ATHLEGAME seem to be in positioning. Roro, will he be able to survive this? And yes, he does manage to. JOGOU do seem to be actually pushing them, not giving ATHLEGAME a chance to breathe, you know. Not too sure if this is the smartest of strategies, especially considering that ATHLEGAME, oh, never mind, they have a launch pad. And Welcott is caught in the middle of 2 teams. He will be taken out by MAGADAN if I'm not mistaken. No, he actually does manage to survive. And Welcott actually pushing the last players from ATHLEGAME. And Welcott taken down, unfortunately. Will MAGADAN actually be able to interfere in this fight? Of course, taking down BMX. Roro doing a ton of damage to these snipers at that AC-80. Will Welcott be able to take him out? And Welcott taken down. Seems that MAGADAN are now third party and doing some serious damage. NJ 1 down. ATHLEGAME left with 2. Blazy lobbing in a grenade. Will he be able to get it down? NJ left with only 1 player, and NJ unfortunately the second team to be eliminated, going out in 11th place, and ATHLEGAME following suit. So it's very important for those 3 teams to be eliminated on, and MAGADAN actually capitalizing pretty well on that fight. We do see that Disney are up in a fight up against 3 crowns. LZ actually taking down Mason. And I saw that Smith actually managed to take down, but it does seem that as though that fight is over now. 3 crowns seem to have gotten the better of Disney as they are repositioning right now. The Union X actually trying to capitalize on that earlier fight of Magadan, but they don't seem to be shooting anybody, which is a bit strange. Maybe strategic gameplay, you know, just waiting it out. You see Magadan actually looting happily inside that house, and Union X not posing any threats, you know. Union X actually choosing to retreat from this engagement. Doesn't seem as though they shot anybody, so they will be able to survive. Tenrik left alone inside Vantage, and I'm not too sure if Union X will be able to spot them out, but they do seem to be heading towards the same position, but Tenrik decides to move away. Not sure if he actually spotted him, and Laken is taken down by Flazy from Magadan.
Double kill.
But unfortunate for him, not Tenrik, COSA NOSTRA having a pretty bad start to this early game. And I'm not too sure if they were able to get the recovery. Laken does seem to have gotten revived by Tenrik, but you know, bad early start actually hurts your game for the rest of the game, you know. We see Smith actually taking down one from Disney. The rest of Disney seems to be retreating away from 3 crowns. 3 crowns actually getting the better from Disney this time around. Clown Esports are taken out in 9th place. Again, Clown Esports are having a terrible day, you know. 3 maps in and it doesn't seem as though they have anything going on, you know. Smith taking some serious damage. Will LZ be able to escape? I'm not too sure, but he does seem to be... No, he's not. He's the last player left in this compound, but Disney actually do seem to be managing to get the recovery on the rest of their players. LZ tried to do some damage, and he does take down Crack, but Smith manages to get the elimination on LZ. Getting another point basis from 6 kills with 3 Crown Esports. We see Slifer actually. It seems that Slifer or Magadan actually did seem to get inside the engagement up against Union X. Obina actually taking down Slifer as well as Storm, so Obina doing a ton of damage onto Magadan. Hogazin managed to get the revive on Nitro and JB as well as reviving Slifer. Yeah, this game pans out. Alpha Wolves actually coming in for the third party, trying to capitalize on that fight between Magadan as well as Union X. Not too sure if they did it pretty well, but they don't seem to have gotten another elimination, so they do seem to be a bit passive about this. I'm not too sure, you know, I haven't seen Just Try this game around. I'm not too sure if they're still alive, but I genuinely haven't seen much from Just Try. But we see that Magadan are actually in close quarters towards Union X. No, Just Try is still alive, which is pretty strange. I've seen many fights from them, but maybe they employed a different strategy for this map. We see Union X as well as Magadan inside the same compound, but they don't seem to be in active engagement. We see that they do manage to fire that cryotherapy and that blazing skill, whatever it's called. Boruto taken down, unfortunately. Union X left with only one player, if I'm not mistaken. Samalay, will you be able to escape from this fight? Nope, and he's taken down. Flazy taken down as well. I'm not too sure who he's taken down by, but they do manage to get the revive on him. It does seem as though it's Alpha Wolves who are third party from up here. They do seem to have gotten another elimination on the board. Not too sure on who, but they do seem to have gotten another elimination. We see Thad actually just chilling there. I don't think that they know where he is, you know. Alpha Wolves and Magadan, not in a too productive fight, you know. If one player gets knocked, they will just get picked up again. So I do think it's best for Magadan to reposition, which they do seem to be doing. Thad just left alone there, you know. I don't think they spot him out, and I do hope that he'll be able to survive to recover his teammates, you know. But they do seem to have 3 players left alive. We see a fight between Disney as well as MEDELLIN. I hate you taking down serious headshot damage there. MEDELLIN left with only 2 players and Disney getting eliminations on the board, important eliminations on the board, especially considering that they have to overtake Just Try to grab that first place, and Just Try haven't seemed to be pretty much an engagement this time around, but MEDELLIN do seem to be taken out in 8th place. Disney putting up 5 eliminations and 5 points on the board for themselves. Will this be enough to take out Just Try? But they do seem to be in a fight up against Just Try. So the top 2 teams are in an active bout. Not too sure how this will turn out, as the team that is eliminated here will pretty much spoil their chances of grabbing their first place, you know. You see Macian taking down Gone with M79. unfortunately that grenade missed entirely. Ledex taken down by Luxen, doing some serious headshot damage. I'm not too sure why he was standing there, but I do think that they'll be able to get recovery on him. Senzo pushing Luxen. Will Senzo be taking down Dante in the close vicinity as well? That grenade from Senzo almost manages to take down Luxen, but he manages to blow up just in time. COSA Nostra eliminated by 3 crowns. They've been having a pretty bad game this time around. And 3 crowns having a pretty good game this time around. You see Just Try losing Dante in that fight. Disney seems to be punishing them. LZ with a really aggressive push. LZ does manage to take down Senzo. Disney getting the better of Just Try in this fight this time around. Sneaky, the last player left alive for his team, but I don't think he'll be able to survive this. And Sneaky manages to get the down on one. That was a brilliant play from Sneaky. He does manage to get the revive on Senzo. Let's see what Sneaky can do in this situation. Sneaky pulling a masterclass here. I'm not too sure how he survived that, but that grenade being lobbed in. Oh, but Steffi doing, I don't know, performing a miracle right there, you know. You see Crack actually taking down Slifer with that AWM. Just Try managed to survive that fight, you know, which speaks of their expertise. Just Try, they don't die so easily, you know. And it showed in that fight. When all things were going south, they do manage to survive with only 2 players, which is pretty good for them, you know. We see Alpha Wolves having a brilliant game. I think that they might have the best, I don't know, game this time around. 9 eliminations on the board for them. And those 9 eliminations go a pretty long way, you know. Even if they die now, they will still get a ton of points from this game. So it's a pretty good strategy from Alpha Wolves. We see Just Try, who tried to get the revive, and I think they did as they left with only 2 players. Ozzy actually pushing that guy, but he might die to zone. Dante getting under some serious fire here. Will he be able to survive? Ledex as well, and Ledex is taken down by Just Try. Disney, man,
Triple kill.
and Ledex is taken down. So Disney getting 10 eliminations on the board. I think that might put them just above Just Try. Dante actually managed to survive that fight. Pinky knocking down Slifer, and 3 crowns also having a brilliant game this time around, taking down the likes of Magadan. We see Crack, and yes, we see Crack and Smith performing wonderwork there, and Magadan taken out in 6th place, unfortunately. You see Just Try left with only 1 player, Dante. Not too sure how he managed to get down from this positioning, but he's only left with, I don't know, last player and 4 eliminations, which is a pretty bad game by their standards, you know. You see Disney repositioning in that danger zone, doing a ton of damage. Nice taking down 1 from Disney, and Disney left with only 3 players. Alpha Wolves as well as 3 crowns seem to be the only teams left with 4 players. They're managing to survive up until now, which is absolutely amazing, you know. They're having a lot of placement points for his team. Disney actually retreating from this fight, but 3 crowns seem to be punishing them. Disney only left with 1 player. 3 crowns having a massive game this time around. LZ throwing in those global melters. Not too sure if that was the best of plays, but they do now know where he is. There's Pinky actually firing some shots on him. 3 crowns, 16 eliminations on the board. This is a massive game from 3 crowns. Just Try eliminated in 4th place. Alpha was going up against 3 crowns. Not too sure what Crack has in mind there, as the zone is doing a ton of damage, but he's also doing a ton of damage from where he is, and they do manage to take down 1 from Alpha Wolves, so it is a 3v4. Crack repositioning himself into zone. Alpha Wolves don't seem as though they have anywhere to go. LZ trying to interfere with that fight, and he does throw that monster truck just to get better positioning or better cover, you know. We see Alpha Wolves actually going under serious fire there. They do seem to be losing up against 3 crowns. I don't think that this is a fight that they can particularly win. Nice surviving, but he will be taken down. But he does manage to get the knock on 1. It seems that Disney, as well as 3 crowns, are having massive games. 3 crowns in particular. 3 crowns are having 20 eliminations on the board, and if they get this elimination now, they'll have 21, which is actually the biggest game from any team so far. Ooh, LZ managing to take down 1. Can LZ get the elimination? And unfortunately, it does not. So 3 crowns, 21 eliminations, and a booyah. Absolutely amazing and massive from 3 crowns. You know, I do hope that they can actually replicate this game. As you know, there's something we call the booyah curse. After you win 1 map, you die the next. So I do hope as though they can keep up the consistency, you know. We see 3 crowns, 33 points in 1 game. Crazy. Second place, we have Disney, 20 points, 11 eliminations. And in third place, we have Alpha Wolves falling short by just 1 point, getting 11 eliminations on the board and 19 points on the board for themselves. So 3 massive games from the top 3. I do think that Disney are the current point leaders, followed by possibly 3 Crowns or Just Try, and Alpha Wolves grabbing a pretty much amazing game for themselves now, you know. So that was Nextera. No, not Nextera. That was Alpine. On to map 4.
Understand a single word they're saying, but they like to run their mouths right into the ground. But we don't let it get in our heads. These are games we're playing, yet they try to break us in. But the line is running thin, so we won't let us burn. No, we won't let us fall. We'll rise up from the dirt, break down all these walls. There is no holding back from it. There is no harm. It's only living inside of your head. Don't you let it come crashing or shine in the dark. We're taking, we can lose our minds today. Take our lives away. 'Cause failing isn't an option when you're with me. Nothing can stop us. There's no taking us down. Running out ahead first and control us with the run of fire. Working in the dark to serve our own light. Making our own love. All we need is ourselves. We can be the heroes of the night. We can take it higher.
Work in the dark to serve light, hero of the night to take flight. Booyah, prepare for a fight, it's on sight. Taking a leap of faith, playing the game of life. Fire in the skies, no surprise when we arrive. Arise from the ashes, champion battle maverick masses that clean up disasters. You're nothing compared to these assassins that stay lit from shadow casters.
Can you hear them screaming out your name? Telling you to fight, telling you to keep on.
I can hear them screaming, the energy is growing. We can't stop tonight, we gotta keep it
Can you
flowing.
hear them screaming out your name? Telling you to fight, telling you to keep on.
I can hear them screaming, the energy is growing. We can't stop.
'Cause failing isn't an option when you're with me. Nothing can stop us. There's no taking us down. Running out ahead first and control us with the run of fire. Working in the dark to serve our own light. Making our own love. All we need is ourselves. We can be the heroes of the night. We can take it higher.
Yo, what's up? Okay. So this is the current point lead. You see Disney grabbing 59 points in 3 maps, absolutely massive from them. Just Try coming in second place with 53 points and 3 Crowns after having that massive, I don't know, map 3, grabbing 50 points. So it's a pretty tight, I don't know, spell between the top 3 teams. Fifth place we have COSA and NOSTRA, and in fifth we have MAGADAN. Fortunately for Union X, only managed to grab 11 points in the first 3 maps. But I do seem to believe in them, I do hope that they can actually recover. So that's your current point leaderboard after map 3. On to map 4 we go. We see that MEDELLIN in a fight up against Disney. The early fight. Ego managing to get down in the process. We see that MEDELLIN are actually left with only 1 player. I'm not too sure if he'll be able to escape from this fight, but AMIGOES are also in the compound. I'm not too sure what they have going on there. So Luxin actually landing away separately from his team. Luxin actually being taken down. Oh, it's neutral, my mistake. You see LZ up in a fight up against AMIGOES. Will you be able to survive this bout? And he manages to take down one from AMIGOES. And he manages to grab another point for his team. 2 points on the board for Disney. But AMIGOES managed to actually win the hot top up against Disney. But it's a bit unfortunate for them. Focusing managed to take down one player from Amigos. Does seem as though it's a bit quiet. Oh, never mind. We see that NJ pretty low. I'm not too sure who they fought against. I think it was Union X if I'm not mistaken. But NJ do seem to have actually won that fight. Yes, it was Union X. NJ have won that fight and managed to get 4 eliminations and 4 important points on the board for them. We see that up in Mount Villa, there's Clown Esports as well as the one player from Disney. Not too sure what Clown Esports have in mind this time around. I do hope that they can survive for longer than they have been previously. But Midnight gets taken down and Disney manages to grab another point on their team for himself. You see, Luxon actually manages to escape from that fight. Luxon surviving for way longer than I would have expected, you know, especially considering that there's a whole team he's fighting up against, but he seems to be alive, so shout out to Luxon. And Level Up manages to take down one player from Disney. Clown Esports grabbing a single point on the board for themselves. Disney do seem to be in a heated battle up against ATHLEGAME, or they do seem to be in the same compound. Not too sure when this fight will break out, but ATHLEGAME actually rotated from Lumber Mill all the way to here. Seems that they are out for blood, you know. And LZ taken down by Zeus, unfortunately, but I do think that they'll be able to get recovery from that throw now. Let's see what they can do, and yes, they do. Adam just seems to be concerned about looting right now, not too sure what he has in mind. And he does manage to catch one from Disney. Neutral, unfortunately wrong place, wrong time for himself. Focusing, will he be able to get the revive? And yes, he does. He manages to get the revive on LZ. And he gets taken down in the process, but he does do some serious damage onto Adam. So, ATHLEGAME putting 3 eliminations and 3 points on the board for themselves. Calder actually killing them Rick from COSA NOSTRA. COSA NOSTRA actually having 2 bad games now, you know, and they had 2 good games early on, but now it seems that the odds aren't in their favor, you know. You see Luxon actually managed to revive Dante, taking down one from Clown Esports, and I don't think that it's best for Clown Esports to be up in a fight up against Just Try right now, you know. I don't think that they're in a position to actually do so, especially considering the strength of Just Try, as well as their current standing, you know. I do think that it won't be a pretty productive fight right now. Crusher actually just manages to take down Dante, but Level Up gets taken down in the process. Let's see what Crusher can do. Crusher actually manages to survive that barrage of attacks, but he gets taken down in the process by Sneaky. Jazz providing cover fire, but it's not enough to actually take down the players. Sneaky actually spots out Jazz as well as Level Up. Ledex manages to take her down Level Up when he was trying to revive Medellin, eliminated in 11th place. Can Jazz escape from this fight? Midnight taken out as well. Dante and Sneaky actually hunting down that last man. I'm not too sure if he'll be able to escape from this compound, but I do hope he does, especially considering that Clown Esports have been having a terrible start, you know. And they do manage to spot him out, and Clown Esports are eliminated in 10th place. Honestly, I don't know what's happening to Clown Esports, and they're such a good team, you know. But it's a bit unfortunate for them. The Violence Cup just doesn't mess around. So Clown Esports, MEDELLIN, as well as Union X are the first teams to be taken out. Let's try Alpha Wolves, grabbing 5 eliminations on the board. We see that COSA NOSTRA up in a fight up against Alpha Wolves. TJ actually doing some serious damage with this easy, but he will get pushed, and he does get knocked by Denric. But unfortunately for Alpha Wolves, but they still do have 2 players left, so they should be able to survive. We see that Nice is actually in the compound, but he is still alive. Not too sure if he'll be alive for any longer. He is getting pushed by both Sleazy and Laken, my mistake. Laken actually managed to take down Nice, but he did take down Sleazy in the process, but unfortunately was not able to get the elimination. So it's a bit unfortunate for him. COSA NOSTRA having a brilliant early start, 4 eliminations on the board. Hopefully they can perform better now, you know. They've been having bad recent performances, and that has cost them their position on the table, you know. I do believe that they were second at one point, so a bit unfortunate for them.
Triple kill.
We see Solzin from JOGOU actually taking down one from Alpha Wolves. Not too sure if Alpha Wolves played the recovery game to the best of their abilities, but it's a bit unfortunate for them. You see Nice, the last player left alive for his team. I do feel as though every team is pretty much split, so there aren't many engagements right now, you know. Most teams are just in a position of looting up or just playing a recovery game, you know. But that safe zone will push them closer together, so you see that Nimjogo are the current kill leaders. You know, Nimjogo, they've always had such brilliant kills, you know, but placement just seems to hurt them, you know. Honestly, if they could combine the two, get good placement and get good kills, I do believe they would be one of the top teams, or one of the top contenders right now, you know. But unfortunately, their placement just guarantees them a bad positioning, you know. You see, Alpha Wolves, the only team left with one player. They've had a terrible start, but they do seem to have 5 eliminations on the board, so I do feel as though that's pretty good for them, you know. 3 seed, despite grabbing, I don't know, 21 kills the previous game, have 0 eliminations on the board. They do seem to be playing fast and furious right now. Driving around the map, don't think they spotted Nimjogo. Oh, Pinky did manage to spot Nimjogo and he's firing onto Nimjogo. Not just sure if this is a productive fight, that's only one way to find out. As though 3 crowns are doing some serious damage onto Nimjogo, and Nimjogo do manage to find that repositioning. Getting some solid cover, you know. Yes, now they are pretty close by. Now the fight might actually start. But Nimjogo seem to be disengaging. I think they choose peace this time around. Popeye was mistaken. Nimjogo are on the team that choose peace, you know. Always want the smoke, as they say. And they're actually doing some serious damage on 3 crowns. Let's see what 3 crowns can do in this situation. Those blue walls are actually being broken in a matter of seconds. Nimjogo just doing a ton of damage onto them. All the artilleries are basically being wasted, and Pinky gets taken down in the process, and they almost eliminate him pretty quickly. Nimjogo seems to be very punishing of mistakes, you know. Crack doing some damage onto them. But Nimjogo do manage to find a repositioning, especially because zone was creeping up on them, you know, and it wouldn't be best for them to actually take a zone fight. So they do choose to disengage and find better positioning right now. Seems as though Marble Works in particular seems to be a hot spot, you know. Tons of teams there, including Magadan, Amigos, Alpha Wolves, who I'm not too sure what they have in mind, but Alpha Wolves are also in the vicinity. And I do think that Just Try might be close by, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's Disney. Yes, Disney actually launching in towards where Magadan are, but they do seem to be taking a ton of damage right now. Magadan choosing to reposition, but Slifer getting taken down by LZ. And Disney seem to be putting a bit of aggressive display on right now, you know.
New kill leader.
Lazy and some serious damage up against Luxin. And Flazy taken down as well as Luxin. Seems that COSA Nostra are actually in the house right now. COSA Nostra choosing to capitalize on that fight, and I do think that they have the upper hand right now. Disney's last player actually choosing to go and get the revive. Focusing doing some damage onto Denric, but Gon doing some serious damage as well, and Denric takes down Focusing. So it seems as though Disney actually left with one player, as well as Magadan. JB doing some serious damage, but he will be taken down in the process by Just Try, and Magadan being taken out in 9th place. Just Try, brilliant positioning and pretty good kills early on, you know. See Just Try getting 6 eliminations on the board. They are pretty much in close contention with Disney, so I do hope to see them perform better, you know. Just to spice things up, you know. You see LZ choosing to reposition. Disney actually managed to get 3 players left alive for their team, so. But LZ taken down in the process. Just Try are not so forgiving, you know. Senzo managing to push in, and I do think he wants to get those grenade knocks. Neutral under some serious fire as well. Lyrics just trying to scope him out. If Neutral stands up, he's dead. But Just Try seems to be pushing in the 2 players up against Disney. Not too sure how Disney intend to win this fight, but Neutral is taken down. Ogazin gets knocked down as well. But there is one last player left alive for Disney. Amigos actually coming in for the 3rd party, choosing to capitalize on this. Alpha Wolves, TJ just distracting the rest of them, but I do think his car might get bombed. No, he managed to survive actually. You see Amigos, who despite just try leaving their position and couldn't capitalize on that third party, so it's a bit unfortunate for them. They just tried grabbing 9 eliminations on the board for themselves. Disney left with one player. Alpha Wolves actually have a full team back and they do seem to be up in a fight up against ATHLEGAME, but Kelder gets taken down unfortunately. Looks in the last player left alive for his team, and I'm not too sure how he intends to get to the other side of the water. Especially considering that named JOGOU right there, and he does manage to spot them out. Will he be able to survive?
Killing spree.
Only one way to find out.
Triple kill.
Oops, seems that 3 Crown Esports are actually in the vicinity as well, so I'm not too sure what Lucasden has in mind. What are you even talking? Yes, I'm back, sorry. 3 Crowns doing some serious damage onto COSA NOSTRA. COSA NOSTRA left with 3 players. Not too sure what COSA NOSTRA have in mind right now. Alpha Wolves actually be taken out by ATHLEGAME. So ATHLEGAME grabbing 4 eliminations the board for themselves. 4 important points, you know. Cosa Nostra, I'm not too sure how they intend to get out of this position, especially because they do not have zone. But 3 Crowns don't seem to be letting them move, you know. Whoop, and Sleazy takes down Macian. Will they be able to get the recovery on Macian? Seems that they do. So both teams are now forced to move towards zone. Looks in the last player left alive is under fire from Smith. 3 Crowns, despite them having 21 eliminations the previous game, only have 1 elimination this time around. Pretty quiet game from them this time around. Will Luxy be able to survive this? I am not too sure. Seems that Cosa Nostra left with 2 players. I'm not too sure what exactly happened to them. We see that NJ, JT, as well as Amigos seem to have been in a heated battle. ATHLEGAME taken out in 6th position. Then Rick under some serious fire and Amigos taken out as well. Seems that Disney are also taken out by, pretty sure that by the safe zone. Yes, it was a bit unfortunate for them.
Triple kill.
I'm not too sure if 3 Crowns can actually get the elimination on Enrique right now, you know, especially considering that he's across the wall, gone taken down by the safe zone, which is a bit unfortunate for him. I'm not too sure what Enrique has in mind right now. Crack just waiting for Enrique to, I don't know, expose himself a bit, you know. On the other side of the map, we see Just Try, who seem to have the best position right now. It seems to not be in too much of an engagement right now. Oh, never mind, I was mistaken. They're up in a fight up against NJ. They do manage to take down 1, and they seem to be coming in for the kill. These guys do not waste time, eh? And Crazy getting taken down by Dante. Dante pushing in. Sneaky taken down by Wellcott. Dante taken down as well. Wellcott taken down by Sneaky skill. Bro, the skills are doing so much damage. The skills are doing way more damage than the guns are actually doing. Wellcott taking down Dante with that M79. Seems though it's a 2v2 right now. Well, Lacoste managed to make it back into zone, and he gets taken down by Senzo. It's a bit unfortunate for him. 3 Crowns, the only team left with 4 players, and I do think that they're in a prime position to actually grab this booyah. Cosa Nostra taken out in 4th place, and 3 Crowns 4v1 up against NJ. But I do believe that NJ might grab more points from 3 Crowns this time around, especially considering that NJ had a ton of eliminations and 3 Crowns not so much. But this would be an exceptional booyah for 3 Crowns. Grabbing another booyah, the only team to have 2 booyahs on the board, 4th today. And we have a booyah for 3 Crown Esports. Seems that Cracked managed to get the MVP with 3 eliminations on the board for himself. And that's a massive game for 3 Crowns. I do believe that actually puts them in the top 3 spot. Well, they were in the top 3, so it might actually put them in the top 2 spot. But so the one way to find out. So we have 3 Crown Esports with 19 points on the board, 7 eliminations. In 2nd place, we have named JOGOU, 21 points, 12 eliminations on the board. In 3rd place, we have Just Try, who actually have gotten the most points from this game, 23 points on the board and 15 eliminations for themselves, which is a massive game for them, you know. Do think that it puts them on top of the leaderboard. And that was your map 4 for today. On to the next. Okay, so this is the current standing after match 4. Just try actually reclaiming their first position with 76 points after 4 maps. I do think that they might be the first team to activate Champions Rush. We see Disney, 72 points, not too far away from Just Try. And in third place, we have 3 Crowns with 69 points. These 3 teams seem to be in a heated battle, locked in for the top 3, you know. And Union X still maintaining the 12th positioning. It's a bit unfortunate for them, but I do hope they can recover. So I do think that a lot of teams will actually activate the Champions Rush after this map, especially considering that Just Try, Disney, as well as COSA Nostra, and 3 Crowns are actually pretty close towards the Champions Rush show. Shout out to them. We see Just Try actually in an early engagement. Not sure who they're up against, but this place does seem to be a bit of a hotspot, you know. Tons of teams here. The NJ pretty close towards where Just Try are. Not too sure if they spot each other. I'm pretty sure Lacoste should have been able to see Dante actually running across there. We see Cosa Nostra, they do seem to be rotating away from where they were, so they do choose peace this time around. I do think that they might actually get into an engagement right now, especially considering that Sneaky and Dante are actually close towards where NJ are. Yeah, it seems to be pretty quiet. Teams aren't they engaging right now, you know? But Sleazy choosing to launch towards where 3 Crowns are. I do hope he survives that. Solozin, not sure if he's AFK, but Wildcat is taken down by Ledex, unfortunately. Smith actually eliminating Sleazy. Yes, Sleazy actually launched in towards where they were, so it's a bit unfortunate for him. We see Lacoste being pushed by Dante. I do think he's getting pushed by 2 players, in fact. Not too sure what he has in mind right now. Lacoste actually choosing to jump out and reposition himself, actually getting closer towards where his teammates are. Lacoste almost taking down Senzo. Senzo under some serious fire right there. NJ actually choosing to take 3v4 battle, and they do manage to take down Dante, but Lacoste is taken down in the process. Solozin is completely far from where they were, you know. Dante Just Try managed to put 3 eliminations on the board for themselves. So they do manage to maintain that first place, you know. We see that Union X are up in a fight. Not too sure who they're up against. Magadan as well as ATHLEGAME are close towards each other. PJ completely missing all of his shots, and Slifer is almost taken down by 6. Does seem as though it's a bit of a stalemate right now. Slifer chooses to reposition himself, choosing to get better positioning. But you will go under serious fire, and I do think that they're choosing to push him right now. I do think that it was a bit of a dumb play from Slifer, but it's a bit unfortunate, and yes, he is taken down. Seems as though it's Amigos who are in the vicinity right now. Amigos are kings of third party, I've noticed. They are always where fights are, bro. Every time there's a fight, there's Amigos there. Shout out to Amigos. See, Alpha Wolves actually managing to maintain their full squad. They did lose 1 player, but they managed to get the revive, and 6 gets taken down. Not too sure who he got taken down by. Seemingly he got taken down by Flazy. Flazy choosing to retreat. Will he be taken down in the process? Not too sure. They do choose to break his walls down, and he does get taken down by R7. So, but unfortunately for Flazy as well as for Magadan. Not too sure what their game plan was this time around, but they did get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know. JB trying to get the revive, and he does manage to get the revive, but he gets taken down in the process. It's a bit unfortunate. Storm's last player left alive for Magadan, and he does choose to retreat. Amigos actually dominating this compound. Despite coming in at the end, they do manage to get most of the eliminations from this compound, you know. So, shout out to Amigos. Storm's actually under some serious fire. Motor actually chasing him down, but Storms does have a motor vehicle, so he should be able to escape from that compound. We see Alpha Wolves as well, who do seem to have left that compound as well, especially considering that Amigos are also leaving right now. They do seem to be chasing the last player from Magadan. I'm not too sure what they have in mind, especially considering that it's a bit of a reckless play. But Storms might get the revive on his team. Yes, and he does. So we see that 3 Crowns are up in a heated battle up against Medellin. 3 Crowns, actually 2 of them are on the roof. Macian and 3 Cracked at the back. Crack choosing to get better positioning, especially considering that this is the sniper of his team. But Ego gets taken down by Smith. Massive edge from Smith. We see Track actually doing some serious damage, and 2 gets taken down from 3 Crown Esports. Let's see what 2-7 can do in this position. That M79 doing a ton of damage, it seems. And he gets taken down as well. Let's see what he can do right here. Macian does survive longer. Seems as though it's a bit of a stalemate right now. They seem to be finishing off the eliminations, but I do think that 2-7 is the last player left alive for his team. ATHLEGAME in the what ATHLEGAME have in mind, but yep, and MEDELLIN are eliminated in 11th place. Macian actually surviving for longer than that guy from MEDELLIN, and he does manage to get the takedown on Adam. So that's a brilliant play from Macian, managing to get 6 eliminations on the board for his team, you know. So what the hell happened to ATHLEGAME? Were they not now pushing? Well, it's a bit unfortunate for him. MAGADAN actually being taken out in 10th place. So the first 2 teams to be taken out are MAGADAN as well as MEDELLIN. MEDELLIN actually grabbing 6 eliminations, but they are taken out pretty early. 3 Crowns having the most points in this game. 3 Crowns are actually performing absolutely amazing, you know. I do think that they are serious contenders for this. You see Clown Esports going up against Disney. Again, Clown Esports left with only 2 players. It's again unfortunate for Clown Esports because they haven't been having the best of games, you know. And unfortunately for him, that landmine does not take anybody out. So Cloud Esports left with only 1 player. No, they actually managed to get the revive on 1, so they left with 2 players. You see 3 Crowns grabbing another eliminations on the board, so 8 eliminations for them. Disney with 3 eliminations and just tied with 3 eliminations. So I do believe that 3 Crowns might actually be on top of the leaderboard right now. I do think that they are first place, so they might be one of the first teams to activate Champions Rush for themselves, you know. Seems as though most of the teams are pretty split. ATHLEGAME left with only 1 player, BMX in particular. He should be able to get the revive on his team. NJ grabbing 2 eliminations on the board. Despite losing their early fight up against Just Try, they are left with a full team. So, shout out to him, JOGOU. I'm wondering how the mid-table teams are actually doing. I'm not too sure how far they are from the Champions Rush. I do wish the point gap wasn't as large, you know. Perhaps if there were like 6 to 8 teams that were seriously competing for that 80-point mark, it would be brilliant, you know. It would be good to see. You see, Just Try up, you know, heated battle up against Disney. Disney seem to only have 2 players inside this compound. Not too sure if they only left with 2 players, but LZ does seem to be repositioning himself, trying to spot out where the enemies are. And Senzo choosing to push right in. Not too sure if Pogazin actually saw that, but Lyrics gets taken down by Neutral, sneaky taken down as well. Disney with that ultimate pincer move just got the best of Just Try, you know. And Just Try left with only 1 player. Will he be able to get the revive? Not too sure, but Dante does seem to be leaving this compound. Not too sure if they'll be able to spot him, and yes, they do spot him. So Disney take out Just Try. That is actually massive for the table, you know. Not too sure if Just Try actually activated the Champions Rush for themselves. I am not too sure. If they did, it might be on the dot. They got 3 eliminations with 9th place, which I do believe is 2 points. So they should have they should have activated Champions Rush for themselves. Yes, that is correct. 3 eliminations with 9th place, 2 points. So they are sitting on 81 points right now. 3 Crown Esports might as well also have activated the Champions Rush, as well as Disney. If Disney survived for just a bit longer, I do feel as though they might activate the Champions Rush for themselves. So we see that AMIGOES actually pretty close towards where NJ are. Alpha Wolves, not too sure who they are fighting against. Oh, seems to have been Roro from ATHLEGAME. Alpha Wolves grabbing 1 elimination on the board for themselves. BMX actually trying to revive his entire team inside that revival point, and he does manage to. You see ATHLEGAME actually landing close towards where Clown Esports are. Not too sure what they have in mind, but they do choose to reposition from where Clown Esports are. Disney with 7 eliminations on the board actually guarantees them Champions Rush. So the teams that are guaranteed, I don't know, or have guaranteed the Champions Rush for themselves are Just-Try as well as Disney Esports. So if Disney, as well as 3 Crowns actually, it does seem as though they're getting a ton of eliminations this game. So the top 3 teams have already activated the Champions Rush after only 4 maps, which is massive. If one of those teams booyah after this map, so after this map, not this map, after this map, they will win the tournament. So this will be pretty exciting to see,
New kill leader.
Team is back. So the only 2 teams to be left are JOGOU as well as Alpha Wolves. Alpha Wolves left with only 2 players. JOGOU 5 eliminations on the board. Not too big of a game, but they have survived this long. And they do manage to take down 1 player from Alpha Wolves. Not too sure what Nice can do in this situation, especially considering that's a 4v1. And he does do some damage onto Wildcard, but in this process he gets taken out. So JOGOU grab the booyah for map 5. So shout out to JOGOU. Grabbing the booyah for map 5. Amazing display from them. I do hope that they are pretty close towards the way the Champions Rush is. Don't think that they're too far, especially considering that they've been having good games with tons of eliminations, so JOGOU shouldn't be too far. Yes, they grabbed 19 points for themselves with 7 eliminations. In second place, we have Alpha Wolves, 17 points and 8 eliminations. And in third place, we have ATHLEGAME with 10 points and 2 eliminations. I do think that Disney might have actually grabbed the most points from that game, especially considering that they had almost 16 kills, and 16 kills is 16 points. So I think that Disney might be the current point leaders, if I do say so myself. And that was your map 5 for today.
Can understand a single word they're saying, but they like to run their mouths right into the ground. But we don't let it get in our heads. These ain't games we're playing, yet they try to break us in. But the line is running thin, so we won't let us burn. No, we won't let us fall. We'll rise up from the dirt, break down all these walls. There is no holding back from it. There is no harm. It's only living inside of your head. Don't you let it come crashing or shine in the dark. We're taking, we can't lose.
night to take flight. Booyah, prepare for a fight, it's on sight. Taking a leap of faith, playing the game of life. Fire in the skies, no surprise when we arrive. Arise from the ashes, champion battle maverick masses that clean up disasters. You're nothing compared to these assassins.
So well, left to map 6, if I'm not mistaken. It's looking pretty spicy right now. Disney, 3 Crown Esports, as well as Just Try are the only teams who have activated the Champions Rush thus far. COSA, NOSTRA's Alpha Wolves, as well as them JOGOU, don't seem too far away from it. But the current top 3 are the only 3 teams to have activated the Champions Rush. So if one of them grab a booyah this map, they automatically win the tournament. So Disney, 3 Crown Esports, and Just Try, give it all you got, man. Hopefully you do get the booyah and win this tournament. So all the best to the teams. Union X still maintaining their 12th position, which is a bit unfortunate for them. Do hope that they can improve. But we should see, or we hope to see, a different team win this map this time around, just to keep things spicy, you know. But the current 3 teams to have activated the Champions Rush are Disney, Just Try, as well as 3 Crown Esports. Let's see who wins. So, in TV Tower, we have a bit of a hot drop, or a bit of an early engagement between MEDELLIN as well as Clown Esports. We see Dante also taking some serious damage up against MAGADAN. Not MAGADAN, AMIGOES, my mistake.
First blood.
He's taken out in the process. I'm not too sure if they'll be able to get the recovery on him. We see MEDELLIN actually taking out some players from Clown Esports. Midnight taking down IHU, but IHU already took down Jazz. It seems as though it's a heated battle right there, right now. See, MEDELLIN actually only left with
Double
one
kill.
player. Clown Esports completely dominating that hard drop, which is pretty amazing to see from Clown Esports, especially considering that they've been having bad games as of recent games, you know, but they do seem to have won their hard drop. You see Alpha Wolves, not too sure what Nice is doing this close towards where Clown Esports are, but he does seem to want to retreat right now. We see AMIGOES actually taking out some players from Just Try, and this is not looking good with Just Try, especially considering that they have to win now to actually win the tournament, you know, and having a bad early start actually kills your chances of going on to win the map, you know. So Just Try have to recover as early as they can. You see Alpha Wolves being taken out by Clown Esports. It's a bit unfortunate for them, but they do still seem to have majority of their players left alive, so they will be able to get the recovery. See ATHLEGAME, Roro in particular, who seems to be close towards where AMIGOES are. Not too sure what he has in mind, but I do hope that a fight can break out there, you know. It's lovely to see action. Yes, and a fight has broken out. We see BMX actually taking some shots onto MTK, and Zeus managed to take down one from AMIGOES. AMIGOES do seem to be retreating right now, hoping to get the recovery, as they are aware of their current standing, you know. We believe that if they die right now, the Champions Rush will be much further away from them, you know, which is not too good. So they do choose to reposition themselves. ATHLEGAME actually playing a bit aggressive, as they realize that they too need a ton of points to actually activate the Champions Rush. So, shout out to ATHLEGAME, you know. Will they be able to take down one from AMIGOES? That R7BB seems to be staying alive pretty well, you know. See Just Try up in a fight up against JOGOU, or more particularly Dante taking out Wildcard from JOGOU. But that player is taken out, or R7BB is taken out by ATHLEGAME, so it's a bit unfortunate for them. But they do have one player left alive, so he should be able to get the recovery on for his team. I do say so myself. ATHLEGAME grabbing 3 eliminations on the board for themselves. 3 eliminations goes a long way. Hopefully they can drop a massive game this time around, you know, just to get them closer towards the Champions Rush, or possibly activate the Champions Rush, you know. Not sure how far away they are from the Champions Rush, but if they do have a massive game, it pretty much puts them in good standing, you know. So it seems like every player is still alive, or every player has been revived. Most teams seem to be playing a bit passive this time around. I don't think that any team has been wiped out. Yes, no team has been wiped out, but we do see a fight between them JOGOU as well as 3 Crown. If 3 Crowns are taken out right now, it will be so bad for him, you know. NJ as well. NJ are very close towards the Champions Rush, so this is a high stakes battle. We see that 3 Crowns seem to be actually getting the short end of the stick right now by losing one player. Macy and Pinky and Smith seem to be the last 3 players left alive for their team. Smith actually taken down TM. Oh, what's going on with me? And 3 Crown Esports are eliminated in 12th place. They are the first team to go out, so they will not win this game. And they will not win the tournament this map. It's a bit unfortunate for them, but they better hope and pray that Disney, not just try, actually wins this map. Otherwise, it's pretty much game over for them, you know. The 3 Crown, count your blessings, eh? You see Alpha was taking down one from Magadan, and Nice actually taking down 2. JB as well as Flazy falling to the hands of Nice. Magadan also not too far from activating the Champions Rush, so they shouldn't be playing this risky, you know. Not too sure what they have in mind right now, but they should aim to stay alive right now. Alpha Wolves, despite them having a bad first game, they do seem to be taken momentum. They do seem to have picked up momentum, you know. Which is pretty good from them. I do hope that they too can actually activate the Champions Rush. Storms managed to take down one from Alpha Wolves. Not too sure if he's the last player left alive for his team. Does seem like it though. Yep, and Magadan unfortunately going out in 11th position. It's a bit unfortunate for them. They will not activate the Champions Rush for themselves this time around. Hopefully they can do it the next game. So they better hope that Disney not just try win. In fact, all of the teams better hope that Disney not just try don't win, you know. Otherwise, not too good, you know. What are they too much? You see COSA and NOSTRA actually doing some serious damage onto Disney, and this is another high stakes battle, as if COSA and NOSTRA perform really well this map, they will activate the Champions Rush for themselves, as they're not too far. I think if they get 20 points, they activate the Champions Rush, and they do seem to be taking out Disney. Disney, who needed a booyah this map, will be taken out by COSA and NOSTRA, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, LZ and Disney are taken out. This is crazy, bro. Like, this is actually so crazy. So Disney, as well as 3 Crowns, are taken out, and they were 2 of the 3 teams that needed to win to actually win this tournament, you know, and they are taken out pretty early on. The rest of the teams better hope that Just Try don't take it out, and Just Try also in heated battle. Ledex actually being taken down by MEDELLIN. Not too sure what Just Try has in mind, but not looking too good for them, eh? Slippy actually managed to get the revive on Ledex, so Just Try back to normal activities, you know, managing to stay alive. They better hope that they win this map, otherwise so many other teams might activate the Champions Rush, particularly COSA Nostra, who are not too far away from that Champions Rush, you know. So this will be exciting to see. You see MEDELLIN, who are pretty far behind zone, actually managed to rotate back into zone thanks to these slide stations. Ooh, and he gets caught by landmine. It's a bit unfortunate for him. I think he managed to get a knock on Dantes with those landmines. Clear play. You see AMIGOES, or that one player from AMIGOES actually sliding past. We see Union X also in a fight. I think it was up against ATHLEGAME. Clown Esports also up in a fight up against ATHLEGAME. Roro taking out Jazz.
Double kill.
Yep, and ATHLEGAME seem to have gotten the best of Clown Esports. ATHLEGAME with 8 eliminations on the board for themselves. Crusher, not too sure if he's the last player left alive for his team. And he does choose to reposition himself. ATHLEGAME managed to get their full squad back alive. And Crusher, the last player left alive for his team. Roro actually spots him. But Roro managed to take him out. Crusher, hopefully he survives. It's not looking too good for Clown Esports. That M79 doing some serious damage. And Clown Esports eliminated in 9th place. It's a bit unfortunate for them, but ATHLEGAME grabbing tons of eliminations on the board, and it's what they need to actually activate the point rush, you know. Not too sure how far away they are from the Champions Rush, but if they do get a massive game, I'm pretty sure they should be in good standing, you know. See that ATHLEGAME are close to a team. Not too sure who squad 2 is. Amigos taking down one from Alpha Wolves. Alpha Wolves shouldn't be dying right now, you know. They're also in good standing to actually activate the Champions Rush. As well as Amigos, in fact, both of these teams. So it's another high stakes fight. In fact, most of the fights right now will be high stakes fights, you know. Most teams aren't too far, especially
Double
teams, I don't know,
kill.
3 to 6 or 7. They are not too far from activating the Champions Rush for themselves, so they should be cautious about the way they play right now. We see Sleazy putting on another eliminations for his team. COSA NOSTRA don't seem to be giving up, eh? They do seem to be chasing after the Champions Rush, and Alpha Wolves are eliminated. Amigos putting on 5 eliminations on the board for themselves. And those 5 eliminations are important. We see that Just Try are still alive. So if Just Try win this map, they automatically win this tournament. So the rest of you guys, be careful with who you fight, eh? We see that MEDELLIN actually getting the short end of the stick up against ATHLEGAME. ATHLEGAME are having a dominant display this time around. And they are taken out by ATHLEGAME. ATHLEGAME 30 eliminations on the board. I do believe that if they get more eliminations, they should activate the Champions Rush for themselves. So hopefully ATHLEGAME perform really well this time around, you know. So it seems that there are only 5 teams or 6 teams left alive, and those 6 teams are Just Try, NJ, CN, Amigos, ATHLEGAME, as well as Union X. You see Union X going on the heavy fire up against JOGOU, but JOGOU do manage to find the positioning. So JOGOU managed to stay alive for a bit long, and I think that JOGOU, if they have a good game, they also might activate the Champions Rush for themselves. But I think the closest team to activating the Champions Rush, or at least the closest teams, are ATHLEGAME as well as COSA NOSTRA. But COSA NOSTRA are under heavy fire as well. Sleazy managed to take down that, but they do manage to get the pick up and the recovery pretty quickly. Not too sure what COSA NOSTRA have in mind right now. I'm not too sure if they are even aware that they are close to activating the Champions Rush. So they should aim to stay alive, you know. See, most teams are actually a bit split. But it does seem as though Amigos and COSA NOSTRA are close towards each other. Laken taken down, Reed taken down as well. It's not looking good for COSA NOSTRA. Gone taken out as well. And Sleazy is the last player left alive for his team. This is not good for COSA NOSTRA. Not good at all. But this is amazing for Amigos. Amazing, in fact. They are pretty close to activating the Champions Rush. And they do seem to have set their sights on Just Try. This is another high stakes battle. If Just Try get eliminated, then this tournament continues. But if Amigos get eliminated, then Just Try might have the momentum to go on and win this game, you know. See NJ up against ATHLEGAME. Another high stakes battle as well. I've been saying high stakes battle because every single battle right now is pretty high stakes. You know, most of the teams that stayed alive have either activated the Champions Rush or very close to activating the Champions Rush. So I do hope to see another team actually grab the booyah this time around just to make this tournament go sometime long. And COSA NOSTRA are eliminated in 6th place. I don't think that's enough for them to activate the Champions Rush. So they will have to wait another map and hope that Just Try to not grab the booyah this time around. This is getting exciting. We see Union X actually having a pretty decent display this time around. Despite them being lost on the table, they are doing pretty exceptional well this time around, so shout out to them. We see Just Try, who don't seem to be in good positioning right now, and Amigos are actually chasing after them. Not too sure how Just Try intend to actually play this out. They don't have zone. ATHLEGAME are uphill. Amigos are actually behind them. They are caught dead center. I'm not too sure how they intend to play. Hopefully if they have a launch pad, they should be able to get out of this position alive, but doesn't seem as though the odds are in their favor, and they're actually under fire already. You see Amigos taking down Senzo from Just Try. It's not looking good for Just Try. They are behind zone and they're under heavy fire from both ATHLEGAME as well as Amigos. And Amigos seem to be doing exceptionally well in those long range battles, so. And Just Try actually do manage to find that positioning right behind ATHLEGAME, but they do manage to get taken down by ATHLEGAME. ATHLEGAME managing to take out Just Try, and Just Try are eliminated in 5th place, so the tournament will continue. Disney, 3 Crown Esports, as well as Just Try were the only teams that could have won this tournament after this map, but they are taken out, and this seems to be a massive game from both ATHLEGAME as well as JOGOU. So I do think that after this game, both teams might actually be in a position to activate the Champions Rush for themselves, as well as AMIGOES. The current 3 teams, AMIGOES, ATHLEGAME, as well as JOGOU, are really close to activating the Champions Rush, and I do believe that after this map, they either should have or they should be in good standing. See that ATHLEGAME are taken out, but I do think that they might have the most points after this map, especially considering their high kills, you know. We see AMIGOES, will that guy be taken out? And he is taken out, unfortunately. AMIGOES left with only 3 players. Union X left with 4 players, as well as JOGOU, and I do think that Union X are in a position to third party. They should be able to get most of the kills right now. You see JOGOU a bit stuck behind those walls right now.
Killing spree.
Not too sure what their plan of action is right now, but Union X should be able to interfere in this fight. But it seems as though they're just waiting things out right now. Not too sure what they have in mind. And Wildcard taking down 2 players from AMIGOES with a single grenade.
Triple.
And AMIGOES are unfortunately taken out in 3rd place. AMIGOES and ATHLEGAME were strong contenders to activate the Champions Rush to taken out, and it seems that JOGOU and Union X out of 4 teams are still alive. Let's see who wins this 4v4. JOGOU should have the momentum right now, especially considering that they took out AMIGOES, but Union X seems to be putting them under serious pressure right now. So I'm not too sure what they have in mind. And they do manage to take down 1. They are now going for the push. Tad doing some serious damage. Lovely mechanics from Tad. Crazy taken down. Boruto taken down. Summerlay taken down. Lacoste doing some serious damage onto them. And Lacoste takes him down. Kenzo, the last player left alive for his team, does seem to be getting some consolation kills, if I do say so myself. He manages to pick up Summerlay though, but then JOGOU are left 3 players. What? Union X grabbing that booyah, and that fight was actually in NJ's favor, but Union X managing to topple over JOGOU. So Union X, despite them being last place, do manage to grab the booyah for themselves, and that was a massive game from Union X, you know. Puts them in good standing. I don't think that they can activate the Champions Rush anytime soon, but that is a massive game from Union X. I love to see it, you know. And that was your map 6. So we see Union X grabbing 20 points for themselves, JOGOU 22 points. That activates them to Champions Rush, and AMIGOES 17 points. I don't think that's enough for AMIGOES, if I'm not mistaken. But they should be pretty close. So JOGOU have activated the Champions Rush for themselves as well. I think that ATHLEGAME might have too, if they got at least 20 points. So that was your map 5, if I'm not mistaken. And on to the next map 6.
Understand a single word they're saying, but they like to run their mouths right into the ground. But we don't let it get in our heads. These ain't games we're playing, yet they try to break us in. But the line is running thin, so we won't let us burn. No, we won't let us fall. We'll rise up from the dirt, break down all these walls. There is no holding back from it. There is no harm. It's only living inside of your head. Don't you let it come crashing or shine in the dark. We're taking, we can't lose.
night to take flight. Booyah, prepare for a fight, it's on sight. Taking a leap of faith, playing the game of life. Fire.
Yep, this is absolutely crazy. We see that Disney, Three Crowns, Chistra, as well as named JOGOU are the only 4 teams who have activated the Champions Rush. COSA Nostra as well as Alpha Wolves aren't too far, as well as ATHLEGAME. If ATHLEGAME managed to put on a brilliant display again this time around, they should activate the Champions Rush. I'm not too sure if Amigos points actually got added to their point chart, as they did have 61 points prior to this, but nevertheless, the current 4 teams to have activated the Champions Rush are Disney, Three Crowns Esports, Just Try, as well as JOGOU. If one of them grab the Booyah, they automatically win the tournament. So all the best to them, and all the best to the other contenders. So it seems as though we have Nextera again. The previous winners of Nextera were... who were they? Disney, yes. Disney, if I'm not mistaken. And they are in an early bout up against MEDELLIN. MEDELLIN are having a terrible display this time around. They are 12th place. It's not the best day for MEDELLIN. Disney managed to put elimination on the board. Just Try going up against MAGADAN. Clown Esports also going up against MEDELLIN, so it seems as though they landed a bit split. ATHLEGAME going up against the Amigos. Yeah, it's a mess right now. Alpha Wolves as well going up against the Union X teams. Yes. Alpha Wolves going up against Union X. Seems that Neutral has actually spotted one player from MEDELLIN. MEDELLIN is just having the worst of days, you know. We see COSA Nostra, NJ, and 3C in a fight. It seems as though it's a mess right now, eh? Amigos going up against ATHLEGAME. Union X managed to take down, not Union X, MEDELLIN managed to take down some players from Disney, and they managed to get the recovery, so it's a brilliant play from MEDELLIN. You see Macian actually in the vicinity, driving around with the car. Hopefully he can survive just longer for his team to actually get the copy, as his team is in a position to win the tournament, you know. They do have 80 points that are needed to win this tournament. R7BB taken out by ATHLEGAME. ATHLEGAME are not so forgiving. If they do manage to get 12 eliminations on the board this time around, they will activate the Champions Rush, so ATHLEGAME have to put on, I don't know, the most aggressive display out there, you know. We see MTK just waiting it out there, hoping to catch one player off guard. Not too sure if he'll be able to, but all the best for him. We see MEDELLIN up against Amigos, and I hate you taking down, not up against Amigos, up against Clown Esports. And I hate you taking down, unfortunately. Clown Esports grabbing 4 eliminations on the board for themselves. A brilliant start for Clown Esports. Hopefully they can carry over this momentum throughout the rest of the game, you know, because they have been having bad performances as of late. We see Tenri taking out one from NJ. And Lacoste gets taken down in the process as well. Tenri, I'm not too sure how he managed to get on that roof, but he is on that roof, it seems. So COSA Nostra, who only needed 4 points to activate the Champions Rush, have 3 points. So if they die right now without absolutely getting a single kill, they will not activate the Champions Rush for themselves. But then Rick says no to that, seems as though he really wants that kill. That lovely positioning from Tenrik. Laken actually pushing in towards where MTK is, but MTK choosing to reposition himself, preferably out of Tenrik's cover. We see Magadan going up against Just Try. If Just Try get taken out right now, they will unfortunately not win the tournament. And Dante is taken out. Sneaky doing some serious damage, but Sneaky is taken out as well. This is not looking good for Just Try. Not looking good for them at all. JP getting knocked. I'm not too sure who, but he does get knocked in the process. Seems as though it's one player from MEDELLIN. So Just Try only need a Booyah to win this tournament, are not in the bestest of positions right now, so it's very unfortunate for them. You see, I hate you doing some serious damage from up there. He's a thorn in the, I don't know, for the rest of the teams it seems, and he does manage to get him knocked on one. I hate you just doing a ton of work for his team, grabbing the important eliminations for his team. Man. Not that they're in a position to actually activate the Champions Rush, but it does put them in good standing in the table, you know. And JB managed to take down I Hate You. Magadan with 3 eliminations on the board. They are not too far from activating the Champions Rush. If they perform absolutely amazing this time around, they... Okay, team should be back if I'm not mistaken. COSA Nostra, who because they got 6 eliminations, are sitting on 82 points right now. And they have activated the Champions Rush for themselves. So we have 5 teams. 5 teams that have activated the Champions Rush. This is absolutely amazing to see. I do wish that more teams activate the Champions Rush, but 5 is not a bad number, you know. Speaks of the quality of each of these players. It's amazing to see. See Cosa Nostra with 6 eliminations on the board. Disney, who are the current kill leaders and current point leaders, seem to be going pretty strong, but they need a Booyah to actually win this tournament this time around. Just try taken out again early on, and they are the first team to be taken out, so they will not be winning this tournament after this map. Amazing to see, but it's a bit unfortunate for them, you know. 3 Crowns still alive, NJ still alive, and CN, who even if they Booyah right now, will not be able to win the tournament as they have only just activated the Champions Rush, so it's a bit unfortunate for them, but they are in good standing right now, so I do wish to see them actually activate the Champions Rush and perhaps win the tournament, you know. But there are some teams that can win the tournament still alive, and those teams include 3 Crowns, Disney, as well as named JOGOU. So hopefully one of those teams win, you know, so that they can win the tournament. If not, then may we see another team actually activate the Champions Rush for themselves. You know, it would be lovely to see if multiple teams can activate the Champions Rush for themselves. You see Alpha Wolves losing TJ. Seems that they're up against Cloud Esports. Cloud Esports are having a brilliant display this time around. They don't seem to be dying that easily. Whoa, what's going on? Seems to be a bit of a mess right now. Alpha Wolves left with only 2 players. Cloud Esports capitalizing on that error from them. And they have 9 eliminations on the board for themselves. 9 eliminations, which is amazing to see from Cloud Esports. I do think that they are very far from activating the Champions Rush. I do think that maybe if they grab 2 good games, then they will activate the Champions Rush. So you shouldn't count out Cloud Esports, you know, but you should also remember that we have a maximum of 8 maps. So this is the last 2 maps. Last 2 possible maps. If no team grabs the Booyah in these last 2 maps, or no team that has activated the Champions Rush grabs the Booyah in the last 2 maps, then we will unfortunately take the point lead. So you guys should lift up your socks and try your best, you know. You see Magadan actually taking down 1 player from 3 Crown Esports, Mason to be specific. MEDELLIN also taking down 1 player from Disney. MEDELLIN are performing extremely well this time around. Slifer taking down Crack from 3 Crown Esports. Dante's taking down Neutral from Disney. And Magadan taking out Crack from 3 Crown Esports. Doesn't seem as though 3 Crown Esports are in the best of positions right now, and they need a Booyah to win this tournament. So hopefully they can get recovered. We see LZ managing to revive the rest of his team. His team too needs a Booyah to actually win this tournament. We see Cosa Nostra finding some heavy shots up against Union X. And it seems that Amigos are in the vicinity, but they don't seem to be doing much from where they are. Disney also landing inside this area. I'm not too sure what Disney has in mind right now, but Disney shouldn't mess up their chances of winning this map, you know. Because if they win, they actually win the tournament, so shout out to Disney. We see CN putting on a monstrous display this time around. 9 eliminations. They have activated the Campus Rush, but if they win here, unfortunately for them, they will not win the tournament. We see Union X taken out in 11th position. Seems to be a fight between Disney as well as Cosa Nostra. whichever team wins, they will actually play a crucial factor into who wins the tournament. So this is a high stakes fight. I see them actually struggling to kill Neutral. I'm not too sure what they got going on, but Neutral is taken down by one player from AMIGOES. Seems to be a bit of a scurry right now. Who is that taken out? Is it Pokezin? Yes, Pokezin taken down by Quan. COSA Nostra grabbing 11 eliminations on the board for themselves. This is not looking good for Disney, as they too need a Boya to win this tournament. JOGOU though, they are putting on a monstrous display right now, and they still do have their full team, so they might be the team to actually win this tournament if they manage to win this map. But COSA Nostra might deny them of that Boya, especially considering their momentum right now, you know. So shout out to COSA Nostra. And MEDELLIN are taken out in 10th place. MEDELLIN, despite grabbing so many eliminations, are taken out. Mota doesn't seem as though he can survive this ordeal, and he is taken down by Sleazy, unfortunately. So, what's called is COSA Nostra grabbing 12 eliminations on the board. It does seem as though Clown Esports and Disney are taken out.
Triple kill.
So Disney will not win the tournament. This is absolutely insane, bro. Disney are taken out. So the only two teams that are left over that can possibly win the tournament are 3 Crown Esports as well as JOGOU. Yeah, this is just a bit of a mess. Clown Esports putting on a monstrous display for themselves as well. 13 eliminations. They too are not giving up that easily, it seems.
Killing spree.
Alpha Wolves are taken out as well. And Alpha Wolves had 70 points. They just needed 10 points to actually activate the Champions Rush for themselves. We see Clown Esports, who have the momentum going up against COSA Nostra. Let's see how they manage to fend out in this battle. See Slifer taking down one from AMIGOES. Zeus from ATHLEGAME and MAGADAN are taken out, so MAGADAN will not activate the Champions Rush for themselves. It's not looking too good for MAGADAN. We see that Clown Esports actually losing one player up against COSA Nostra. Not too sure how they intend to get off this roof, but they should be in a prime position to actually third-party fights that are actually happening at the bottom. But COSA Nostra seem to be distracting them a bit, so not too sure how this will pan out. We see Roro actually putting on a ton of eliminations, 5 eliminations for Roro alone. ATHLEGAME might actually activate the Champions Rush after this map, especially considering the amount of kills they have right now. Lacoste taking down Jazz on the roof, but they will be able to get the revive on Jazz. The Clown Esports stay alive for just a bit longer, but Jazz takes some more damage again. Roro, ATHLEGAME actually launching onto Clown Esports, and it seems as though it's a 4v4. Crusher actually survived it, and he seems to be, I don't know, best in the game's mechanics, it seems. Will he be able to take down one? And he does manage to take down one. Blockboy getting knocked in the process. Crusher getting knocked as well. Jazz, the last player left alive for his team, and ATHLEGAME managed to take out Clown Esports. ATHLEGAME having another massive game for themselves. 14 eliminations, and they have activated the Champions Rush actually. So we have 6 teams that have activated the Champions Rush, which is absolutely amazing to see. Love to see this from SSA teams, you know. 6 teams activated the Champions Rush. This tournament has turned out a lot better than I had expected, you know. It seems as though there's no one team that's completely dominating, you know. We see Valcott getting taken down by 3 Crown Esports. 3 Crown Esports are eliminated, so they will not be one of the teams to actually win the tournament, as they are eliminated. So currently the only team that can possibly win the tournament after this map, during this map, are named JOGOU. And it seems as though they are only left 2 players. They better hope that COSA Nostra and ATHLEGAME actually bout it out. Otherwise, they unfortunately will not be winning this tournament.
Killing spree.
And JOGOU are taken out, so we will continue on to map 8. Yo! We will continue on to map 8 as Cosa Nostra or ATHLEGAME. If either of them win right now, they will not win the tournament as they have only just activated the Champions Rush for themselves, which is a bit unfortunate, but it actually increases the competitiveness of this tournament, which is something amazing to see. We see Kenrick actually getting taken down by ATHLEGAME. Will they able to get the recovery on him? Sleazy pushing towards where Roro is. Seems as though it's a bit of a stalemate right now. Nobody has gotten knocked, but Roro has gotten knocked in the process. BMX knocked as well. It does seem as though this might be a Cosa Nostra Booyah. ATHLEGAME left with 2 players. They do manage to take down 1 from CN. But Cosa Nostra grabbed map 7's Booyah. And this is absolutely amazing to see, you know. We have 6 teams that have activated the Champions Rush. 6 whole teams. This is absolutely crazy. So we have Cosa Nostra with the Booyah in map 7. There are so many teams that could possibly win the tournament in map 8. We have Cosa Nostra with a 33-point game, ATHLEGAME 25 points, and then JOGOU with 19 points. That's your top 3 for map 7. I'm not too sure who will grab the Booyah in the next game, but whoever grabs the Booyah then is pretty much guaranteed the tournament, as it is map 8, you know. If they grab the Booyah with a high kill game, they might be the point leaders as well, so this is pretty interesting to see, you know. We have 6 teams that have activated the Champions Rush. Anyways, that was your map 7. On to map 8, final map for the finals.
Looking past the war and all the warriors that we get lost. Battlefield of dreams full of teams wanna be the boss. Jump into a session is a lesson when lines are crossed. Impossible victory, unstoppable, probable, logical. Locking you into view when we shoot. Don't jump, don't be a punk, yo. We taking this route, we small, we cool. We can never hide the truth. We the leaders of this life, they heroes ready for the fight tonight.
Okay, so this is the current point standings. This looks absolutely insane, I won't even lie to you. We have 6 teams that have activated the Champions Rush, with Cosa Nostra being the current point leaders. If no top 6 team wins this map, Cosa Nostra automatically win the tournament, so you guys have to watch out for them. But the current 6 teams that have activated the Champions Rush for themselves are Cosa Nostra, Disney, JOGOU, 3-Crown Esports, ATHLEGAME, as well as Just Try. Alpha Wolves, Amigos, Magadan, Clown Esports. Unfortunately for them, they cannot win the tournament at this stage. So I'm interested to see how they will play, or how they intend to play actually. I do believe that there'll be a ton of hot drops this time around. Tons of teams going after each other, and it seems that Magadan have chosen 3 crowns as their target. It seems to be a bit of a mess right there. Not too sure who is here, but it seems to be a lot of people. It seems that Clown Esports up against Amigos. Rockboy gets taken down by 7 players from Amigos. Oof, it's not looking too good. Pinky taking down Slifer from 3-Crown Esports, and it seems that Slifer, or I don't know, Magadan's hot drop strategy didn't work out for him this time around. Crack taking down Jazz from 3-Crown Esports. Disney are in the vicinity as well. And seems to be a bit of a mess right now. And Neutral choosing to reposition and choosing to get the higher ground. Amigos managing to get their full squad back, but Pokezin is under some serious fire. Not too sure up against who, but he is under some serious fire. Neutral taking some damage from MTK, and he does seem to be getting pushed by the rest of Amigos. That time turner coming in handy, but he does get knocked, unfortunately. So as it stands, ooh, Disney taking out Amigos. Looks to be a bit of a mess right now. And Amigos only left with one player. MEDELLIN are actually here for the third part, and it seems as though the Mozambique and the Cape Verde boys are, I don't know, taking each other out. Storm's taking down one from 3 Crown Esports, and Amigos are the first team to be eliminated. So unfortunately for them, they are completely out. Just Try as well are in the vicinity. Honestly, every team seems to be here. Just Try taking out some players from Disney, or it seems to be MEDELLIN in particular. They lobbing that grenade. What? That was an absolutely insane grenade from Dante, if I'm not mistaken. But MEDELLIN actually do seem to have capitalized on that. Disney only left with one player. Just Try. It seems as though they have gone a 2-2 split. I'm not too sure where the rest of their teammates are. It seems to be Sneaky and Dante, who seem to be fragging out this time around, choosing to prioritize eliminations. We see Adam actually taking down one from Union X, Senzo launching right in behind MEDELLIN. And I don't think that MEDELLIN, Senzo actually getting taken down. Dante's taken down as well in the process. Senzo as well taken out. So Just Try are only left with 3 players if I'm not mistaken. Dante as well as Sneaky under some serious fire. Crusher actually taking out some players from 3 Crowns, so 3 Crowns are not in the bestest of positions right now. Alpha Wolves actually going up against Union X, choosing to buy hit list. Everything just seems to be a mess. Everybody's buying a hit list. 3 Crown Esports are being chased after. Just Try actually left with the entire team, and they do manage to take down one from MEDELLIN. Honestly, this is just a mess, it seems. And Dante gets taken down. Sneaky as well, he's taken down. Senzo. What? Bro, genuinely, what is going on? Who is reviving these Just Try boys? Well, Ledex. Ledex pretty much, Ledex is the savior here, bro. The 3 Crowns seems as though the entire map is after them, as they're only left with one player. It seems as though the team don't want 3 Crown Esports to win this tournament. Seems to be a bit of a mess right now. See, Crown Esports, they seem to be taking out all of the Champions Rush teams or whatever. Seems as though they've set their sights on MEDELLIN right now. Trying to redeem themselves, Midnight managed to take down Dantes. And it seems as though most teams are actually buying hit lists on each other. So this is a pretty strange tactic to see. Not too sure if Disney are still alive. So all teams that actually activated the Champions Rush for themselves are still alive. The only team to be taken out are Amigos, and unfortunately for them, they did not activate the Champions Rush. But Blockboy getting a massive headshot from AHU there. That was very disrespectful if I do say so myself. Midnight managed to take down one from MEDELLIN. And he does seem to be pushing in. Jazz getting taken out in the process. Will he be able to get the recovery? But he does manage to get the revive on the rest of his teammates. He is taken down in the process, unfortunately, but he did manage to get the recovery on his teammates. Crusher actually seems to be in the vicinity as well. Dante's actually managed to revive IH, and it's a 2v1 scenario. Will Crusher manage to survive there? And unfortunately, he's taken down, but he did manage to take down one. Not too sure if the rest of them are here. Blockboy is actually in the vicinity. Can Blockboy get the last knockdown? And he does manage to get the last knockdown. Clown Esports are putting a masterclass this time around. This is absolutely amazing to see. Honestly, I'm losing my voice here because everything is just going so crazy. Like, it's just such a mess, But it seems as though 3 Crown Esports are still on that hit list, but they did manage to get the entire team back. So it seems as though that strategy of taking them out did not work this time around. See Union X taken out by Disney. Disney, who had a bad early start, do seem to have gotten the entire recovery on their team, so Disney still have a fighting chance, it seems. We see ATHLEGAME going up against Alpha Wolves and did lose one player, but they do seem to be getting, I don't know, upper hand in this fight. MEDELLIN not taken out, unfortunately. ATHLEGAME, if they continue this momentum that they've been having, and he's taken out by the grenade, but I was saying, if they do manage to continue the momentum they've been having the previous games, then they should be in a prime position to actually win this tournament after this map. So, ATHLEGAME have to give it their all, you know. Adam manages to take down one from Alpha Wolves, and it does seem to be pushing in a bit reckless play. Hopefully, he does manage to get the knock. Alpha Wolves only left with 2 players. This guy does seem to have landed back there. I'm not too sure what exactly he has in mind. Yep. And Adam taken down Zeus, the last player left alive for his team. What the hell happened to ATHLEGAME? Alpha Wolves actually absolutely turned the tables on them. That is absolutely astounding to see. I won't even lie to you. That is crazy to see. But we see that the only 2 teams to be taken out are AMIGOES and MEDELLIN, and they aren't any of the teams that have activated the Champions Rush for themselves. And JOGOU only left with 1 player, and ATHLEGAME as well left with 1 player. So this is not looking too good for themselves. Hopefully they should be able to get the recovery so that they have a fighting chance, you know. And we see that JOGOU are going up in a heated battle up against Clown Esports, and Clown Esports have the momentum. They seem to be doing some serious damage onto Dante. And they do manage to take Dante down. And they manage to take Sinzo down as well. JOGOU are not in the best of positions right now. Nikki will manage to get the revive on Dante though. And they do seem to be pushing in. This is absolutely an amazing display from Clown Esports, and I don't know where this momentum came from, as they've been having bad games. Midnight taken down by Sneak. But he does get taken down in the process. It's a bit unfortunate for him. Bro, this is absolutely crazy. Like, I don't even think words can describe what's going on. We see that Alpha Wolves got a hit list on COSA and NOSTRA. Yo, this is absolutely madness, bro. If Alpha Wolves take out COSA Nostra, then COSA Nostra automatically do not win the tournament, despite them being the current point leaders. I don't think that it's enough for them to win the tournament. See Slifer actually taking some serious damage from Blockboy. It's a fight between MAGADAN and Clown Esports. Both of these teams are not, or they shouldn't be fighting, as both of them haven't activated the Champions Rush. So I think it's a bit reckless. But they do seem to be retreating. I'm not too sure if they're actually in communications, because that's awfully coincidental, you know. MAGADAN and Clown Esports to split apart, despite them not activating the Champions Rush. Nevertheless, we see that JOGOU are actually in the vicinity. They're actually pretty close by. They will grab that Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, just to get some recovery loot, but they do seem to be rotating away from the Midnight taken down by Flazy. But they will be able to get the revive, as the shop is pretty close by. See that MAGADAN Storms is actually pushing towards where they are. You see, and ATHLEGAME actually managed to get the full revive. Jazz getting taken down, but Crusher managed to knock down Slifer. Pretty sure he'll go for the confirmation there, but Storms actually in the vicinity. And Crusher gets taken down as well by Flazy, it seems. That is honestly just a back and forth, you know. Just try. Just try coming in for the third party. And it seems as though they're dispersing. They are all running away from Just Try. Just Try only left with 3 players though. I'm not sure what exactly happened to their last player, but they only have 3 players in this area. Disney are also pretty close by. Disney might have their sights set on MAGADAN, as they are also in the same vicinity. We see Dante actually getting taken down by Slifer from MAGADAN. This is not looking good for this time. Slifer taken down as well by Disney. And Neutral actually managed to get the confirmation. Just try. They do seem to be playing a bit passive. Only 3 eliminations on the board for themselves. They realize what's at stake right now. Sinzo taken down. I'm pretty sure the nerves are just, I don't know, out of this world, you know. ATHLEGAME left with only 3 players, and they are not in the bestest of positions right now. They are pretty close towards where COSA Nostra is. And it does seem as though another team has launched in. Not too sure who these guys are, but they are pretty close towards where they are. I'm not too sure who they are. Okay, We see Disney actually fighting up against Union X and Magadan. Seems that Magadan are actually being pushed by Union X. Oh, seems to be a bit of a mess right now. 3 crowns. They seem to be a bit split. Smith and Crack might be the last 2 players left alive for their team, which is not good, you know. Oh, it seems that Mason is also still alive. They do seem to be a bit split, so I don't think they're in a prime position to actually win this map. See, Disney, we seem to be playing a bit passive, which is pretty much against their style, but I do understand what
Triple kill.
they have in mind right now. You know, there's a
Quadra
lot at stake.
kill.
We see Crusher actually taking down some players from named JOGOU. But that safe zone will be doing a ton of damage, and named JOGOU are unfortunately taken out. So they will not be the team to win this tournament, unfortunately. Despite them having activated the Champions Rush, it's unfortunate that they got taken out so early. We see that Union X are actually taking out some players from Magadan. Just Try also in a bad position, it seems. Just Try, they might be only left 2 players. We see Dante actually pushing Block Boy. Will Dante survive this? And Dante actually surviving for longer than I'd expected, but Dante is taken out. Ledex might be the last player left alive for his team. And ATHLEGAME are in a fight up against COSA Nostra. 3 crowns. What is going on? Seems as though 3 crowns still alive from Macian, but Macian is not in the bestest of positions. Does seem as though COSA Nostra might have the best position in the map. Smith actually getting revived, but he will go under some serious fire. Fortunately for him, that glue wall does manage to save him, but they will not hesitate to break those glue walls. Clown Esports eliminated in 8th place. They had a brilliant display in the last 2 maps, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for them to activate the Champions Rush. No place on the pole, you know. Clearly taking down Smith. Macy and the last player left alive for 3 crowns, and it doesn't seem as though 3 crowns will be winning this tournament this time around. Magadan taken out by Disney. A bit unfortunate, you know. We see COSA Nostra left with a full team. Macy and behind the zone. Doesn't seem as though he's in a position to get to zone. Ledex also behind zone. Last player left alive for his team. Macian will be taken out by the zone. So 3 crowns will not be winning this tournament as well. This is absolutely crazy. So we see Alpha Wolves, Disney, Union X, as well as COSA Nostra, one of the last 5 teams left alive. Does seem as though COSA Nostra are in a position to, I don't know, get some third-party kills if Alpha Wolves and Disney do decide to get inside a bout. Ledex is not in the bestest of positions right now, you know. He's in the vicinity of Alpha Wolves, and if Alpha Wolves actually catch him out, it's not going to be too good for them. We see Alpha Wolves deciding to reposition and actually take the fight up against COSA Nostra, it seems. Yes, Disney also under some serious fire. Kelder getting taken down by one from COSA Nostra. This tie eliminated, so this tie will not be winning the tournament as well. Disney are in the worst of positions right now, but they do still seem to have their full team left. Alpha Wolves are actually pushing in, and then Reek manages to get a knock on Kelder. And it seems that COSA Nostra might have the best position right now. Cookzin taken out as well. Alpha Wolves taken out. Disney taken out. I think this might go to COSA Nostra. COSA Nostra. They were the last team, the absolute last team to activate the Champions Rush for themselves, but they win the tournament on the final map. And you know, they were the point leaders, so even if they hadn't won this map and a team outside of the top 6 had won this map, they would have still won this tournament. So COSA Nostra are the team to win your Violence Cup Season 2. Shout out to them, man. They played absolutely amazing, you know. And they were the last team to activate the Champions Rush, but they still won the tournament. That's absolutely amazing to see. I'm sure everybody is so happy for them. So shout out to COSA Nostra, and thanks guys for making this an absolutely amazing tournament. We hope to see you guys around for Season 3 of this tournament, which will be happening soon, so look out for that. Thank you guys. Yep, so it seems that COSA and NOSTRA grabbing the booyah cements their position in first place. They did win according to Champions Rush and according to point leaders, so that's a double win for them. Disney grabbing second place, Three Crown Esports grabbing third place, and then JOGOU grabbing fourth place. Just try actually placing outside of the top five, which is a bit shocking to see, but they are tied with points with ATHLEGAME, so I do think that they share the fifth place together. Fortunately for Union X, they do manage to take 12th position, but every team here played absolutely amazing, so every team here did deserve to be in this final. But unfortunately for the rest of them, Cosa Nostra are the team to win this tournament. Thank you guys. It's Bob. We hope to see you soon.
Can understand a single word they're saying, but they like to run their mouths right into the ground. But we don't let it get in our heads. These ain't games we're playing, yet they try to break us in. But the line is running thin, so we won't let us burn. No, we won't let us fall. We'll rise up from the dirt, break down all these walls. There is no holding back from it. There is no harm. It's only living inside of your head. Don't you let it come crashing or shine in the dark. We're taking, we can't lose our minds today. Take our life away. 'Cause failing isn't an option when you're with me. Nothing can stop us. There's no taking us down. Running out ahead first, take control, set the run of fire. Working in the dark to serve our own light. Making our own love. All we need is ourselves. We can be the heroes of the night. We can take it higher.
Work in the dark to serve light. Hero of the night to take flight. Booyah, prepare for a fight. It's on sight. Taking a leap of faith. Playing the game of life. Fire in the skies, no surprise.